Hey, welcome to Genre Exposure, a film podcast. Join us as we explore the wide world of cinema, broaden our horizons one movie at a time. I'm one of your hosts, Dustin, and as usual, I am here with Jason.
Hey, everybody.
What is up, my dude?
I am doing well. I know you've been under the weather.
I am dying before you as we speak.
Well, you seem to be recovering.
Yeah.
I mean, you're here in the studio.
Yes, I'm on
i.e. my basement.
I'm on the mend, kind of.
Well, you look good.
Till I start pewing speak soup.
Ooh, don't do that.
Ooh, I can't even speak correctly now. I know. Pea soup across this table at you.
Oh, please don't.
Yeah, we missed last time, scheduling issues, and then we almost missed this time because I got sick. Mm-hmm. Have like a stomach virus or something going on. Not been fun.
But you can't keep us away for too long. We're back.
I desperately have needed to talk about this since I rewatched it, so... we have joined to continue our role-playing game themed spree through cinema, which began with zero charisma, and now we're following it up with the most recent attempt to adapt the Dungeons & Dragons franchise, D&D, Honor Among Thieves, from 2023. And oh my god, I don't remember who directed it. It's like a duo, right? It's like a pair.
Yeah, directed by Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly.
Yes, thank you.
Who also co-wrote the screenplay with a couple of other writers and potentially a dozen writers that go uncredited. So,
which we'll get into. Before all that, I have a ton of movies to talk about because it's been so long. I bet you do too. And then we have other things to get into and all kinds of good things. We're going to do that first, of course, as always. Just like, you know, it's classic genre exposure back again. But before all of that, we are part of the Prescribed Films podcast network, and we love it. And there's all kinds of other cool shows you could be checking out, listening to, finding other movies or hobbies or interesting things to get into, enjoy, help pass the time in your long days in a commute, at work, chilling at home, doing personal projects, whatever it is. And this time I wanted to shout out, I guess they've got a few episodes out now because we had a little gap there, but we had a new show join the network. And anytime that happens, I always kind of like to try to celebrate them and just make sure people know they exist and go give them some love and check them out.
yeah.
And so joining the Prescribed Films podcast network is, and this is like made for you, Star Wars in the Basement.
Yeah.
So this is just their little kind of synopsis. A podcast for anyone who still remembers the magic of a galaxy far, far away and never really stopped living in it. Some of the best Star Wars conversations don't happen at conventions or the movie premieres. They happen in basements, surrounded by vintage toys, dusty VHS tapes, and people who just get it. Join us for laid-back, heartfelt conversations about the movies we grew up with, the joys of collecting, and the memories that made us fans for life.
Yeah, that's right up my alley.
They're on Spotify. They're on all the podcast platforms. Looks like they're about 5 episodes in so far. Mm-hmm. Seems that the format is that they'll just have a guest every time and kind of talk about, you know, their fandom, their interest in it, how they came to it, what they collect. I know they've had a guy on that was like heavy into collecting the toys. So it's just cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure to check it out.
The most recent one, they had someone that was in the whole like 501st thing.
Yeah, that's fun.
I don't know. If you had the time, Jason, this seems like a thing you should go to.
Yeah, no, I would totally love to. That would be amazing.
So go check that out, especially if you're a big Star Wars fan. Show them some love. Check it out.
Do you not consider yourself a Star Wars fan? Does this pod not appeal directly to you? Or are you just sort of like over Star Wars?
I'm just so over it recently, man. Like, damn, I don't know.
Because I do like how this is like, let's remember what it was like. You know, just it's nostalgic. It's like, remember Star Wars when it was fun and unique. And
I do every now and again get these pangs of like, one thing I'll see and it triggers me to remember the good times, you know?
Sure.
Like, we were watching, Tiffany and I, some like top number video Watch Mojo BS the other day. And I guess it was something to do with like the really good villains in media.
Yeah.
And one of the entries was from Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Okay.
And in the entry talked a lot about like, you know, his acclaim came from those novels and stuff, the expanded universe that they've buried, even though they have brought him back. And then Tiffany didn't know who he was, of course. And so I was like explaining it and getting so excited talking about him and his character and how cool he is. And I was like, damn, man. I don't know.
And someone argued that's not even the classic era of Star Wars.
Right,
know?
yeah.
Because most people say it's the original trilogy.
Right.
And I can watch the original trilogy any fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it just takes me right back to how much I love those movies, and they exist on their own, and I can look at them on their own and forget about all the other crap I don't like. So anyway, yeah, cool podcast idea. I'm going to check it out. Anxious to listen to it.
Show them some love.
Yeah.
Now, what have you been watching?
Oh, God. Okay, well, I'm not going to go over everything.
Okay.
Because, we got other things to talk about.
Sure.
I'll hit on some important parts. I did see Evil Dead Burn.
I as well. And I did a marathon of the whole franchise leading up to it.
I did not do that. But also, the 3 movies, the Sam Raimi movies, they're permanently ingrained in my memory. I could play those.
Yeah, I can just lean back and shut my eyes and start one.
Yeah, I could play the whole movie. Yeah. I have not been a big fan of the newer ones. I don't think that's a secret from anybody. And that trend continues because I was not a big fan of this one,
bro.
I gotta say.
Okay, share your thoughts.
Yeah, it's another just one of. This could be anything. This doesn't need to be the Evil Dead.
Could be the Mummy.
It could be apparently.
I'll watch that too. I'll talk about that in a minute.
I mean, there's some good gore, fine, but it's like, okay, that's not that hard to come by these days. I need more than just gore. The actors were fine. I didn't really have a problem with any of them. It's just, it's not fun. To me, these new movies just aren't fun. They're trying so hard to be gory and edgy.
I don't know if it was intentional or unintentional, but I felt like Burn was the funniest of the newer ones.
I mean, there were a couple of good gags. Don't get me wrong. One of my favorites was the fingers in the car.
Oh God,
that was a great gag. The timing was perfect. The way the fingers just sort of start peeling off the car, that was hilarious.
And they even set it up because they prominently show her fingernails in an earlier scene, and the fact that they're painted and stuff.
That was amazing. That was great. I got some Evil Dead vibes early in the beginning, when the Deadeye is just standing in the road and gets hit, and then it's like her head talking to the guy in the car.
Yeah,
that's very, very Evil Dead. But I'm not getting what made Evil Dead for me. I'm not getting out of these movies.
Sure.
And yes, you could say, of course, Evil Dead is intrinsically connected to Raimi and Tappert and Campbell and all those people.
Ash Williams, man, he's the guy.
But I mean, despite the big budgets or relative big budgets of these movies, they cannot top the creative ingenuity of Sam Raimi and his cohorts. I don't get the love. I'm not getting the new camera angles and crazy edits and stuff like that. It's just like any other movie. It could be any other movie. I didn't really care about the characters. I didn't care what happened to them. It's dark. It's like a shot through a grimy, dirty fish tank, It didn't do anything for me. I just didn't feel anything. That was my opinion.
Dang.
Yeah. And the stinger, fuck you. Fuck that stinger.
Oh, I like that. That was crazy.
No, don't care. Just talk about the stinger. It's been out for a few weeks.
Okay, sure,
Anyone who's wanted, at the end, it's like we see a funeral home earlier in the movie, and at the end we see like the daughter of the funeral home director kind of messing around with some of the urns and stuff.
Yeah, it's the unclaimed ashes.
And for some reason, they had the ashes of Ellie, the character from the last one, the mother. I don't know how. Wasn't she like conglomerated in this big mess of people and then spewed through a wood chipper or whatever?
I guess they took that and cremated it. And
sure, whatever.
There you go.
But she like touches it, and then like Ellie appears, and then like kills the girl. I don't care. I don't think she's an iconic. The actress did a great job, no doubt there. But for me, that character is not like iconic or important or special.
I think of the remake, she's like the most iconic Deadite that they've had.
That's not saying much to me, man. I'm sorry. It's just.
And I will say, you didn't take this stance, but I've seen people take this stance where they're like, it's impossible. It doesn't work in that universe. And I was like, this is a universe where Ash saw himself in the mirror, broke it, spawned 12 mini copies of himself, swallowed one, grew an evil clone that then spawned off and became like a demon lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can come out of a mirror and come back, sure.
The rules just sort of happen. That doesn't bother me so much.
Like, I saw people trying to be like, we got to debate this and figure it out. And I was like, what's to figure out, though?
Yeah, who cares? It's magic. Bleh. But to me, it just wasn't. There was no payoff for it. It's a big shrug for me. That's my problem. Don't care.
That I can give you.
Okay, thank you. What else have I seen?
Yeah, what else?
What else? Okay, so the Odyssey.
Couldn't care less.
You haven't seen it. You're not interested.
Again, I couldn't care less.
Now you're kind of a Nolan hater, aren't you?
I think he has, I don't know, gotten too big for his britches or something.
Too big for his britches. Now, tell me why you think this.
I think his recent stuff is like just really like the second he announces it, it's like it has to be the best film ever, and no one accepts the idea it could be anything but.
Well, that's not Nolan's fault. I think that's some of the fanboys.
And I don't know. I haven't liked the recent stuff he's done. It's just felt very just like I don't want to say it, but I guess I'm going to say it, Oscar baity. And I think in the early stuff, like he always had this really cool idea, and he would just like stick to it and make it happen. And these new ones feel like, I don't know, a little pandery, and just please give me my awards, sir. One Oscar, please.
I could not disagree more.
And then in this one too, especially the fucking casting like kills me. And I'm not going down the road you think I'm going down. Like,
well, I would hope not.
Like Travis Scott. First of all, fuck that guy. Literally stood on stage and watched people die and laughed about it, and has never really been sorry about the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
He's a fucking monster, and to cast him and to have him be a poet and do the whole like, oh, well, rap's like modern day poetry, and he's not even a fucking good rapper at all. No, man.
I can't speak to that.
I can't even support that.
I don't know rap for shit. Yeah, I actually forgot that he was that guy, and I agree. Fuck him. I don't know enough about it to really be informed. Like, I don't know if he ever came out and said, "Oh, I was a shitty person. I'm sorry." I don't know.
Not really.
I don't know.
He gave like a half-hearted social media apology, and then just immediately moved on from it.
Okay. I'm not going to let him ruin the movie for me because it is a fantastic, awesome fucking movie.
Take your time. I will.
I mean, I don't want to say too much about it. I mean, everyone, if you're interested in this movie, you've already seen it. You know, so to me, the casting is perfect, minus that guy, I guess. I mean, Matt Damon does a great job, and I'm not a Matt Damon fan, but Nolan.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
He's eternally that for me.
Yeah, but Nolan always gets a good performance out of him, or at least he did in Interstellar. He was actually pretty good in Interstellar. So I think he's a good actor if he has the right director. Tom Holland's well cast as Odysseus' kid. You get Anne Hathaway, she's great. Arpat's in it.
My boy.
He's great. He plays such a great, sniveling, cowardly little shit.
He wants to be Tom's daddy.
He's perfect. He's so good.
That's all I know about it.
He's so good. No, I mean, it's amazing. My wife, we saw it in the regular theater, and then we were like, hey, fuck it. Let's just go to Nashville. We're going to see it in IMAX. So we made a little getaway going to Nashville to see it. And it was pretty
fucking... You saw it how it was meant to be seen.
How it was meant to be seen. Now, if anything, I grant you that's annoys me a bit when you're filming something just on IMAX. Although I will say, the way it was framed worked perfectly fine in a normal theater. But it is kind of frustrating when something's filmed in a format that there's only 25 theaters in the country that support it.
Yeah, that's a little odd. That's
kind of annoying. But it also made for a fun little trip. And it was very impressive in IMAX. You know, another thing I loved about the IMAX experience? No fucking goddamn commercials for half a fucking hour.
Oh, yeah, because you paid for it.
None of that. Dude, I will gladly pay for it. Gladly. No shitty trailers. I mean, I like trailers sometimes.
Probably no obnoxious people.
But honestly,
because they also couldn't afford it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no one fucking talked. Karen was giving the guy next to her some Kleenex at a certain scene that I won't spoil in case you haven't seen it. So everyone was cool. There was the only thing before the movie was a 5-minute scene from Dune 3 that was shot in IMAX.
Well, that's welcome.
Yeah, and that was really awesome, especially with the sound system they have and stuff.
That new trailer is just so good.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for it. So yeah, I mean, I'm highly recommending the Odyssey. If I have any complaint about it, because Nolan, he keeps things kind of grounded. So this doesn't go into like a full sword and sandal peplum type movie.
Oh.
And you know what? I would have liked a little bit more of that, just a little bit. But he did manage to make all the supernatural happenings very otherworldly and impressive and scary.
Yeah.
Like
Cyclops puppet was cool looking.
Cyclops is awesome. Circe, when she turns his men into swine, that is a grotesque body horror sequence. It's really cool. It's really well done. The brief looks we get at Scylla, the seven-headed monster.
Oh yeah,
is creepy and weird. I kind of wish we got a little bit more. But no, I heartily recommend it. Go out and see it. You can go see it in the theater. Not an IMAX exactly, but if you're close to one, go for it. I can't recommend it enough. It's a great movie.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What else?
Well,
I know you got more.
Weirdly, I do have more, but I don't want to say everything because I don't want to take the whole entire time talking about the mostly mediocre movies I watched. But Karen wanted to watch one last night. We watched it, and it's the drama.
Okay, I've seen that mentioned places.
Yeah, and it was good. It was fine, but it was weird because it had Robert Pattinson and Zendaya in it, who are in the Odyssey, who are also in Dune 3, that I saw the scene from at the IMAX theater. So it was just this weird kind of... But yeah, the drama by Christopher Borgli. He's done a few other things I hadn't seen.
I gotta ask you an important question about it.
Sure.
Was there drama?
There was drama.
There was in fact, some drama.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that's...
No, what is it? It's like she's got like a secret in her past or something.
Yeah, there's this couple that's like perfect for each other. They're lovey-dovey, you know. They're great. They get along wonderfully. And then they have a conversation with some married friends where they're talking about what's the worst thing you ever did. And they all have some fairly bad things they talk about, but the one that Zendaya has is like worse than the rest of them.
Oh, like can't get past it kind of thing.
Yeah,
cool.
And it complicates the rest.
I like that.
Of the
That's a cool hook.
It is. And I mean, it's kind of billed as a dark comedy, which it is. Romantic comedy, sure. Drama, romance. It's all those things. It doesn't get like full tilt horror or anything.
Right.
Not at all. But it's great performances. You know, Arpat's great. They're all great.
I love him.
Everyone's
I love
great.
the transformation his journey has been.
Yeah. And seeing his jawline on the IMAX screen, it's just like, oh my God. But I can recommend the drama if you're into that sort of thing. It's not going to appeal to everyone.
Right.
You know. But I liked it a lot.
Cool.
That is all I will talk about for now. No, I will briefly mention another one.
Yes.
Because our nephews were in a couple weeks ago, and sometimes they like to watch movies, and they are younger, so they will sometimes choose movies that aren't very good. And they actually said this after they had chosen it. But did you ever see The Great Wall from 2016?
That was that weird they put a big star in it to try to make it pass, and it didn't work. I can't remember it really well though.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
And this is an excellent example of a good director being able to pull a good performance out of an actor. But also had Pedro Pascal in it. Has Willem Dafoe.
Man, they really tried to make it work.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the one, like a mythical kind of fable set in ancient times, the Great Wall, where, of course, a Westerner has to help save everybody.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
But yeah, like there are these monsters that are attacking the Great Wall, and that sounds cooler than it is. But the monster design is odd, and the CG is off-putting.
Oh no!
And it's just one of those movies that's just made for people on their phones. You know, it's
just look up every now and again when the music swells.
Right, it's very colorful. I'll give it that. But oh my God, it's so brain dead. It's easily one of the dumbest movies I've seen in a while. It was pretty bad.
Wow.
So I cannot recommend that one.
Okay.
Anyway, so those are some of the films I have watched lately.
Cool. Let me rattle through my list here. I'll try to be brief as I can.
Okay.
I circled back to hit Undertone. Now, this was that A24 podcast horror movie.
Okay, is that worth watching?
Came out at the start of the year, and we were like, could they actually finally make a movie about podcasters that's cool? And then I missed it in theaters, and I kept saying, like, I'm definitely going to circle back for that one. I got to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to say this other than to say,
it sucks.
Unequivocally, this has to be the worst film A24 has ever released.
Really?
Hands down, period. Fucking garbage. Oh my god. I can't believe how terrible it is.
Wow.
I gave it a 0.5 star on Letterboxd.
Wow.
And I honestly was like, do I even log it? I don't even know if it's worth the 0.5 star. Like, god, it is so fucking stupid. It's a guy and a girl, and they do a podcast together. And like, I guess they used to be like close friends in person, and they've kind of gone their different ways. And so like, the dude lives in London now, and she's still in America, and they record at like 3 a.m. at night so they can both be on together. And the logistics, whoever made this has never even like tried to make a podcast or see how one was made. Like, goddamn, they, it's a weekly show, comes out every Friday, and they'll get together to record like 5 minutes of footage and then get off and stop, like each fucking day. But then also they'll take random gaps of like 2 or 3 days between where they don't do anything.
Okay.
And I was like, how many episodes have they banked?
Right.
That they have the lead time to record like this and still drop an episode every Friday. And they mention without missing.
Okay.
Idiots made this. The script is stupid. The story is stupid. It made me angry. I was like standing up and yelling at the TV. And
now, do you think it would have made you just as angry if you weren't like a podcaster?
Yes.
Okay.
It's blatantly stupid.
Okay.
And it's this whole thing, like they're a horror, like a spooky supernatural podcast, and their gimmick is that the girl kind of believes everything naturally and just like accepts it and tries to like figure out things. And then the dude is like the skeptic, and he'll always disbelieve everything and try to look for the rationale of why it's a mundane thing and not supernatural.
The whole like Mulder Scully thing.
And they bounce, and they'll cover a story and bounce and be like, oh, what do you think it is? And so he shows up with like these audio tapes that someone sent into their show, and he digitized them, and it's like 12 clips, and they say listen to all 12, but by the end something terrible will happen. And so any normal podcast, I'm pretty sure, would like pre-screen these and check them first, you know?
Yeah, you would think so.
But they decide to listen to them live on their recordings.
Oh, great.
And then that starts to make spooky things happen and horror things happen. And then the main girl has this drama where she's like living with her mom, and her mom's sick and dying and in like hospice care, and that's like a whole stressor and a concern. And then she's maybe pregnant, but she doesn't want to have a kid, and she's thinking about an abortion, and that's a whole thing. And then the crosses in the house start turning upside down, and a bunch of Blumhouse shit happens.
Spooky.
And God, it was just... I mean, I guess it's made for teens or something, but I don't know. I thought it was rated... What is it rated? I'm looking right now. Oh, I can't find any info about it. Oh, no. It was rated R. Okay, it was rated R. Yeah, the lamest fucking R-rated movie to ever exist, probably, too.
Could have easily been a PG-13.
Yeah, it felt like it was like made for like 11-year-olds or something.
Nice.
And I just cannot believe they put this out.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Wow. Okay. So avoid Undertone.
Avoid it. Bury it deep.
Okay. Can do.
Supergirl. The much maligned second stumble from the DC film universe. I'm here to say it's actually really fucking good.
Okay.
I gave it 4 stars. I don't think it's quite as strong as Superman. I've seen people say they like it more, and I could totally see that. Like, if you're the right certain person where the themes of that hit you better,
sure,
I could see liking it more. It's a fun story. Like, it's cast well. Millie Alcock's a great Supergirl. I don't get this whole weird, like, whoa, she looks kind of funny.
I think she's cute as hell.
She's cute, dude.
She's also a good actress.
She looks like Supergirl, and she acts like Supergirl in that comic.
Yeah.
And there you go.
I don't know what it's like the fucking Odyssey and shit. Oh, Lupita Nyong'o can't be Helen. She's not pretty enough. Fucking says you. You know, I mean, fuck you. Yeah,
right. Yeah. That's not my hang up with the Odyssey. It's
I know.
More Nolan than everything else.
I know that.
And
But
then
she's actually really good in the role.
Jason Momoa fucking slays it as Lobo. He steals the scene in every scene he's in. He was like made to play that character. I was talking about it with Michael in our chat the other night, and he was basically like, I wonder if like, he read those comics as a kid and was like, I just want to grow up and be him.
Yeah.
Patterned his life after him.
Could be.
People rag on the villain Krim, played by Matthias Schoenaerts. I liked him as a villain. Like, yeah, he doesn't have much of a backstory, and he's basically just like an evil bastard. But like, why isn't that okay in a superhero movie to have like a space pirate who's just an evil bastard, and then he dies and that's it? I would rather that than like, oh, here's the Joker, and he's really cool and like the greatest villain ever, and now we've killed him.
Yeah.
And then,
or he gets away.
Or yeah, and then like Marvel's just fucking slayed their whole roster of great villains one by one with every film they make. So why not have some throwaway dudes who aren't that big a deal? But it was fun and it was awesome, and I'm excited to see, the next one, the Man of Tomorrow. I guess it's kind of gonna fold both together. So
yeah, I doubt she'll get her own anytime soon.
Not anymore, unfortunately.
Unless they go the direct to streaming route.
Let me turbo speed my Evil Dead marathon. The original 3, I love them. They're still great.
They're unfucking touchable. Dude.
Legendary classics.
Untouchable.
Evil Dead remake. I hated it when I first saw it. I rarely revisit it. I gave it its fair shake. I still fucking hate it.
I saw it twice, and I didn't like it either time.
It does nothing for me. I hate Mia as a character. I think she's very unsympathetic and unlikable.
They're all that way.
And then just out of nowhere, you're supposed to accept her as like the action hero, badass, one-liner person.
Yeah.
Not good. Evil Dead Rise. I was fine with Evil Dead Rise. I think it's fun. I enjoyed it. I like the apartment setting.
Of the newer ones, I think it's the best.
Ellie's performance is like great. Just so good. Fun bits, fun bobs. It is what it is. I watched Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Now, is this an Evil Dead film? Not technically, but Lee Cronin says it is.
Yeah.
It has references to Evil Dead Rise. And when I watched it, I was like, yeah, this kind of just feels like it could slot in with the newer films.
Right.
It was better than I thought it was. I rated it about the same as Rise, like a 3-star. It is a terrible mummy movie. If you want the tropes of a mummy film, of like that, I have reached across the ages of generations and of love after you, and then people are in the way, and the like archaeology angle,
or the gothic horror, like the Hammer film.
Yeah, you get none of that. It's purely like an Exorcist style possession movie, just with some Egyptian mythology trappings baked around it. Okay. And then once the possession starts, it's just full on. It's a Deadite basically. Okay. But it's fun. It had some good gags. As far as like special effect moments and stuff. I had a very hard time with the lead. The dad of the family is played by Jack Renner, who was also Christian in Midsummer. So at the start of the film, I was like, oh, I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah, he's just trained to now.
And to his credit, he gives a very good performance, and you really root for him and trying to keep his family together and weather through this insane thing that happens to his family.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty fun, and actually, like, I really wanted to hate it, but I was surprisingly okay with it.
All right.
Which then, all that was my big build-up to Evil Dead Burn, which I loved Evil Dead Burn. I think it's my favorite of the remakes in this new continuity. I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, we were opposed on that one.
Sebastian Vanisek, I didn't think a lot about it, but the fact that he's a French director, like, I think he really brought like a French extremity style to this film. It kind of had those really abrasive cuts and shots. Never shied away from the gore. Really just got in your face with it. It had that like kind of somber, depressing tone and vibe to it. I liked the elements of the plot, that there was this woman, her husband dies, but he was abusive. But the family kind of puts him on this pedestal of perfection and don't really see that aspect of it. And so she's also kind of the black sheep of the family at the same time.
Yeah.
And then they all get together for the old like post-funeral family dinner.
In this old decrepit house. But I would have turned away from immediately.
And it's basically just a film of, a dysfunctional family breaking down and falling apart, except it's instigated and escalated by a Deadite.
Yeah.
Who wants the damn book.
That's basically it.
Actually wants the dagger this time, technically.
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
No, what were you going to say?
No, I forgot another issue. For some reason, I thought you had talked about this last time, but I think we just talked about it personally.
Interim, yeah.
Another reason I didn't like this was the third act. The third act did not work for me one fucking bit. Because the entire time you've got this impending arrival of the X, who we know he's a Deadite now.
Yep.
But when he shows up, it's a nothing burger for me. It's like CG. He doesn't look cool. He doesn't look scary.
Well, I thought he looked cool.
Doesn't really do anything. So I didn't think so at all.
I thought he looked cool, and I loved their showdown in the like construction site around the funeral.
I didn't. I was bored.
When she fucking falls in the like press.
Yeah.
And it's like closing and also filling up with like the liquid shit that's burning.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, the stakes are high right now.
I just didn't care, man. I don't know. It hit me completely differently than
I liked a lot of comedy with the grandma that she has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And is like kind of losing the plot. And then when she becomes a Deadite, it gets even funnier.
Yeah. The scene where she's going up her chairlift, that was funny. I like that.
Yeah, I just thought it was really fun and really well done. And it is pretty mean-spirited at times, but I also appreciated that about it. So I give it a pass. I liked it.
Okay. Fair enough.
What will happen with Evil Dead Wrath, though? I don't know. That's our next one.
That's the prequel,
It's going to be a prequel set in the 70s before the events of the first original Evil Dead.
Like, we need a prequel.
And I think it's going to thread the chain on some of the stuff the new films have been doing. Right? We have this, like, secret society now that was kind of trying to, like, study the Necronomicon and, like, protect them from being misused.
I guess. There's some hints of that, yeah. And that's another issue I've got. It's something I liked about the Raimi movies was, like, the lore, how it kind of built up. And stuff, and we really haven't gotten that. This one gives us a little bit more. They're kind of trying now with this one, because they bring the dagger back,
which I love. The fake out on that too is like they just tell you it's a dagger,
yeah,
and you assume it's going to be the one from Evil Dead 2 that we all know and love,
yeah.
And then when she's trying to find it, when all the knives spill on the floor, that one is there,
right?
And she picks it up and uses it.
Wrong one.
It does nothing. Great fake out.
Yeah, I can't. It didn't work for me. I just didn't like it. But the Wrath one, I'm even more hesitant about because unless I get like archaeologists in Kandar, finding all this shit and hell breaking loose, I'm not interested. If it's another fucking family in a house or something, fuck off.
Yeah, I want to finally see this like
expand the world,
the knights of more. Whatever they are, or whatever.
Yeah,
that are studying this.
If this doesn't expand anything. I'm checking out completely. I'm done. Done with the series.
And I've got a little more, but I think I'll save it for next time just to balance things out better.
Cool.
It's a good run of stuff, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. And that'll bring us to our main event and the movie at hand. All right, so today we are talking Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves 2023, directed by Jonathan Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein.
Indeed.
I'll hit you with a synopsis.
Okay.
A charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers undertake an epic heist to retrieve a lost relic, but things go dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. How more classic of a D&D adventure could you get?
I think you could, but that's up for argument.
Professional hater Jason over here.
Not true. Not true. I think everyone is well aware that I am a forgiving critic.
What genre is this?
Well, I'm going to tell you what IMDb thinks it is.
A lot of things.
High concept comedy.
What's high concept about it?
I think they use that term whenever it's not just like people falling down.
Okay.
I think if there's like Ghostbusters is a high concept comedy.
Is
when you add the fantastical or the horror or something into it.
Okay.
And there's like special effects, then it becomes a high concept fantasy.
Sure.
Or a comedy.
I'll give them that.
Quest. I wasn't sure that was a genre.
Didn't know that was a genre.
Sword and sorcery. Sure. Fantasy, action, adventure, comedy.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Wikipedia just says a fantasy heist film, which I think is pretty on the point.
I think more than anything, this movie is a comedy. And I'll tell you right now, that's why it doesn't work for me. Spoiler. But anyway, yes.
Well, let me give you a little background on the inception of this film. You did say there was a bunch of prior stuff going
There were
on.
a bunch of different drafts.
I don't know if you want to speak to any of that or.
I mean, we can.
All I really put down was stuff that the actual directors themselves did once they came in.
Well, it started in development in 2013. It was a Warner Brothers Pictures. They beat out Hasbro and Universal in the lawsuit over the film rights to the game.
Because notably, there had been 3 prior films. A kind of bigger budget one in the 90s that was like their first stab at it.
Yes.
And then that got 2 direct-to-video, direct-to-TV sequel follow-up kind of things.
Right. And they were all fucking horrible.
Except for the 3rd one, which is fucking ridiculous.
I hadn't seen the 3rd one, but...
It's Book of Vile Darkness, and it's based on D&D 4th edition, and it is insane.
But is it good?
Some would debate that, but I would say yes. Hasbro doesn't want you to know it exists because it is very vulgar and also has nudity in it.
Well, if it's based vile darkness, yeah, it's going to be. Although apparently Hasbro is going back to edgy stuff with Dark Sun.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that a little later.
We could talk about that later. All right, so then it was kind of in development hell forever. Then of course, the pandemic hit, that slowed things down.
Oh yeah, everything.
So there was a bunch of different writers here and there, and eventually we got what we got. But it was essentially in development for 10 years.
So the directors talked a little bit about their influence. Some of their big films they looked at that they wanted to pull from was The Princess Bride. Okay. Lord of the Rings.
Punching above your weight, boys. Okay.
Lord of the Rings, of course. I think if you talk about D&D, like Lord of the Rings is just always right there in the conversation.
Of course.
We're getting a little more to the point. Indiana Jones, kind of the adventure, archaeology, heisty stuff.
Sure.
And very importantly, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Now they expounded.
Therein lies the problem.
Now they expounded on this influence a little bit in an interview, and Goldstein explained that while the creative team wanted to make a comedy, they never wanted it to feel like they were mocking D&D itself as the source material. He said, "We never wanted to go too far where it becomes a spoof of the fantasy genre, but we also wanted to be able to do a thing where we could have a scene with something creepy, and then pivot into traditional fantasy, and then also pivot to something very absurd, almost like a Monty Python bit."
Okay, if that was their intention, I think they did okay with that intention. I think that's pretty much what we got. Because it doesn't become like a Naked Gun sort of parody thing.
Well, it could have easily if they wanted to.
It could have taken things a bit more seriously, in my opinion, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Anything else you have on the...
I think that's the best for the background for now, and anything else I can sprinkle in as we go.
Sure. Okay.
I guess a little background, though.
Okay.
Just on what we're in. This is a story that's set in the Forgotten Realms, which is one of D&D's campaign settings.
One of the biggest ones created by Ed Greenwood.
Existed for ages since the first edition of Advanced Dungeons & Dragons.
It wasn't the first setting.
It was not the first.
But it was one of the first.
Technically, the first is Blackmoor, which is not very well known by people.
Which it basically evolved into Greyhawk.
Which that is kind of like the D&D setting, really and truly.
Yes.
It's fallen out of favor over the years. Forgotten Realms surpassed it.
Yeah.
But it's coming back, actually. Now I think it's the new default for D&D is Greyhawk.
I prefer Greyhawk to Forgotten Realms myself. Greyhawk is a bit more like medieval, a little less high magic.
Yeah. It's more Conan-y.
I would say more token-y more than anything. Myself, personally.
I'll trust you because I kind of missed the boat on Greyhawk. So.
Okay, yeah.
I actually know Forgotten Realms much better. But Forgotten Realms, it's a big fantasy world. There's many gods. The gods meddle in everyday affairs. Magic is everywhere and abundant and is a everyday part of normal life and baked into everything.
Which is why I don't like it.
It's set on a planet in this world called Toril.
Yeah.
And in a world that they refer to as Faerun.
Yes.
And particularly our film, Honor Among Thieves, takes place in the Sword Coast region, which is like the most popular region of this setting that's been used in media and things like that.
And one of the first 5e books was The Sword Coast.
Yep, Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. If you know related D&D media, you're probably going to be familiar with it. The Baldur's Gate games. Baldur's Gate is on the Sword Coast.
Yep.
Icewind Dale is far in the north. It's kind of just like that little focal spot that every fan of the series would know or recognize.
Yeah. If you're going to make... they probably chose the right setting, as much as I'm not really a big fan of it. But like, it is the most well-known setting. It is the most D&D-like setting.
Yeah. Cool. Now I think we can start.
Yes.
So we begin in the Sword Coast, but far to the north, where I was just talking about, Icewind Dale.
Yes. It's kind of a wintry wasteland we see, and I couldn't tell what he was supposed to be myself. It's a hobgoblin,
Yeah.
Apparently. I didn't know if it was supposed to be orc or what.
You know, the bad thing with hobgoblins and orcs and stuff is, like, there's so many ways you can take them, right?
Yeah.
Especially with, like, hobgoblins. Like, there's, like, the pig version and then, like, the...
Well, orcs used to be pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Right. They're pretty interchangeable, I guess is what we're saying. But this
is Revel's End. It's this super prison to hold very dangerous individuals that have arrested along the Sword Coast.
Yeah. That's one of my issues. I'm not... I don't...
Damn, man. We're like a minute into the film.
A prison... okay. It's a fantasy world, so anything can happen in a fantasy world. Mm-hmm. They have different traditions, different beliefs, things like that. But a big, like, almost modern prison like this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because here in a minute, they're going to be given, like, a parole hearing and all that shit. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That doesn't scream like a medieval fantasy world to me.
I thought it was cool. I liked that they had, like, the bracelets that, like, nullified if you had magic and stuff like that. And
okay, anyway, let's continue.
It was consistent with its own world.
Okay. Yeah, so the hobgoblin is brought into a cell with two individuals. Ed Darvis,
mm-hmm.
played by Chris Pine, and Helga Kilgore,
played by Michelle Rodriguez.
A role she can play in her sleep.
Yeah, made for her, you might say.
Yeah, and I will say that if nothing else, Chris Pine, this is also a role he can just sleepwalk through because he's got the charisma. He's very charming.
Hell yeah.
You know, this is the sort of thing he can do in his sleep too.
I will just say entirely from the start, the core cast is, like, great, and they have really great charisma with one another. Like, the way they can play off one another is just so good.
So the hobgoblin is coming on to Helga and stuff, and we see Ed. He's just, like, knitting, which I know it's supposed to be funny. I don't know. See,
he's knitting gloves for his daughter.
The humor does not work for me in this movie. Okay.
But yeah, he's like, hey, man, you should probably leave her alone.
Yeah, because she's eating her potatoes and she wants to be left alone because she
loves her potatoes.
But he's coming on to her, but she's like, no, not having it. So she, like, breaks his kneecaps and whips his ass. So then we next see them, and at least they had them doing hard labor. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, like breaking ice out in the fields.
They're out there chopping up ice, which I'm assuming will get shipped down the coast. Because that's used to be how you got your ice. It had to be shipped from very cold
So, like,
places.
you really need the internal logic of everything to just...
I do. But yeah, I mean, suspension of disbelief will only get you so far. Mm-hmm. I need things to make sense. Because if I'm going to meet you halfway, things need to make sense. You know?
Tell me it's magic, and I just nod and go along.
I can't. Oh, no. So they're breaking up ice, and they're talking about how they're going to have this parole hearing and whatnot. And they keep talking about how Jarnathan's going to be there.
Yes, Chancellor Jarnathan.
So everything's kind of hinging on his presence, apparently.
He's going to be their ticket out, is what they say.
So then we see them at the parole hearing, and I guess we could talk about, like, races and stuff as they pop up, anything D&D-ish.
Sure. One of the chancellors here is a dragonborn.
Yeah, which looks pretty cool.
It's actually like a practical, like, suit effect.
It's like animatronic. It looks good. I like it. There's a halfling here too, isn't there?
Yeah.
And the other person was just a normal human kind of guy, right? Okay. So Ed is kind of pleading their case to them, and this is where we get the whole backstory.
Yes, we finally learn what their deal is, why they're imprisoned there, and we learn that Edgin was once part of the Harpers.
Another direct D&D reference.
A prominent D&D faction. In the new edition of the game, 5th edition, that they've kind of tried to make those more important if you're playing in Forgotten Realms.
They're a bunch of do-gooders.
But the Harpers, yes, are an order of peacekeepers, and kind of they act in secret and will trade information and try to get out ahead of problems and resolve them before they start.
Yeah. And he's a bard.
He's a bard.
That. Mm-hmm. And that is a class in D&D, as well as an actual historical thing. A troubadour, a minstrel, whatever you want to call them. And that's one of the ways he uses his abilities to spy on people. We see him like in the tavern, he's playing, but he's listening in on.
And it's important to note too, like you might get a little confused if you don't know D&D very well, but like the bard's always been a jack of all trades. They can do a little fighting, a little thieving, a little magic, a little bit of everything, kind of. They're not really like... They are musicians and storytellers, but they're also a little more than that, too. They're kind of like... They dabble with, like, every aspect of being an adventurer.
Right. Right. And he's talking about how he was married and he had a kid.
They were happy.
Mm-hmm. But he ran afoul of some Thayan red wizards.
Yes, which is a little bit more lore for the Forgotten Realms for us.
Yes.
Thay is one of the other kingdoms, countries in the area, and the red wizards rule it unequivocally, and they are obsessed necromancers. They've basically converted most of their population into undead that serve them mindlessly, and they are ever looking to expand their influence.
Yes, but he made it onto their shit list, and they came to his house.
It's important because it's his own greed that kind of sets it off.
Yeah, we don't know that yet, though.
Oh, we don't know. Okay, we'll save that then.
We'll learn that later.
That's an important reveal.
But he comes home one night, and his wife has been killed by the Thayans. And he says that the Thayan magic, you can't just raise someone. You can't resurrect them magically.
Right, because again, this is a magical world. There are clerics. They can
Right.
cast Raise the Dead.
And this is something else that the writers and director talked about. They didn't want every problem to be able to be solved with just magic.
Yeah.
So they have to put things like this in there to say, hey, and it's in the game, magic
it's part of the
can't
lore.
solve everything.
That's like a known thing with Red Wizards. So I appreciated that.
So he's left to raise his daughter alone. And he kind of has a hard time of it. He starts drinking and stuff.
It's falling apart.
Not doing too good. And then he runs into Holga. And
She's also not doing good. She was exiled from her tribe,
she was.
her barbarian tribe.
So they kind of become friends, and they become thieves. And their daughter, her daughter name's Kira. She's actually helping them out in this. Because at one point they steal a bunch of jewels, and she's got this, it was like an amulet or a ring, wasn't it?
It's like an amulet of invisibility.
Yeah, so she can disappear and she'll cause havoc and stuff.
Which Kira is played by Chloe Coleman.
Okay. She doesn't get a whole lot to do in here, but I think she acquits herself fine.
Oh, yeah. They start to expand their crew as their operation extends. They bring in a sorcerer, a wild magic sorcerer, named Simon Omar.
He's half-elven.
He's played by Justice Smith. He also does great. If you're a die-hard Forgotten Realms fan, the Omar is going to trigger something for you because that's a connection to Elminster,
Yes.
who is often seen as the greatest wizard in the Forgotten Realms and was like the pet character
Right.
of Ed Greenwood that made everything.
And when you have like spells named after you and stuff, yeah, you're supposed to be like.
And I think that's even Ed Greenwood's story is like he claims he met Elminster, and Elminster told him the tales of the Forgotten Realms, and that's why we have it now. And
right.
Cute little story.
Sure.
Which, put a pin in that, we will actually meet Elminster later.
Yes. They also hook up with a con man named Forge.
Yeah, Forge Fitzwilliam played in an amazing turn as Hugh Grant.
I will say Hugh Grant is one of the highlights of the movie.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a little too much, but he knows exactly the movie he's in.
Yep.
He knows what he needs to do. He got the assignment, you know.
You love him and hate him at every moment.
He makes a good secondary, tertiary villain. We'll get into more on that later.
So things are good. They're making money.
And Ed's sure to tell them, he's sure to tell the parole board that they never killed or robbed anyone that couldn't afford to lose it.
Right. They only targeted people that quote unquote deserved it.
Because famously in D&D, a lot of thieves are just murdering bastards.
But then one day they escalate. They're going to do a bigger job. It's kind of one of those like, let's do one last one and then call it quits kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Forge brings in a new acquaintance, a mysterious spellcaster named Sophina.
Yes.
Which is played by Daisy Head.
Yes. Who manages to look pretty attractive even when bald.
Yeah.
So I give her the Persis Combata Hot Bald Chick Award.
I'll have to print one of those up. But it's a simple job. They're going to break into a remote Harper stronghold because Ed has the access to it. And they're going to steal a Tablet of Reawakening, which is a very rare magic item that can resurrect anyone from the dead regardless of circumstances.
Yes.
And so he's going to use that to bring back his wife and then go straight again.
And Sophina is after something else. I'm not even sure they even ask what it is.
No, it's just she'll get what she wants. We'll get the tablet. Everyone will get a bunch of money. Then we go our separate ways.
Yeah. But
sounds great.
Sounds great in theory. But like so many D&D players, Ed triggers a trap when he takes the tablet from its pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
And Sophina has meanwhile got this glowy red horn she seems pretty interested in.
Looks sinister.
Yeah. So guards show up, and Sophina's like zapping a bunch of them, like chain lightning
She
spell.
immediately fucking kills them with a chain lightning spell.
Sure. And he's like, hey, we don't kill people. She's like, fuck you. And then she's like casting like a time stop spell, like a slow spell.
More guards come, so they get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And there's no exit.
Yeah.
So she drops the old time stop on them.
And Holga and Ed get trapped in it.
Which brings us full circle.
He throws the tablet to Forge.
Mm. He says, take that, revive my wife, and take care of Kira, whatever you do.
He promises to keep Kira safe.
And he says, Ed, I promise you, I will look after Kira.
Mm-hmm. I will in no way betray you. So yeah, he tells the whole story to the council. That's why they're in prison, because they got caught in the harbor.
And notably, and I love it, at one point they stop in the middle of the story, and he's like, hey,
shouldn't Jonathan, shouldn't he be here?
I really want him to hear the whole story. And there's a funny thing about this, because we'll learn it when he joins, but Jonathan is an Aroka, which are these like bird people race.
With wings
that can fly, which is important. But
and he does mention this when they're chopping ice.
The other funny thing about it is, if you know the lore, one of the iconic things about the Aroka as a race is they very much value freedom. And they don't want anyone to be imprisoned unless like rightfully so. If there's any kind of extenuating circumstances, they would like have sympathy. So like his story, an Aroka would automatically be like, oh, they've had such a hard life. We need to free him. He's repentant.
But I got the impression that he wasn't planning on the sympathy to be freed. Like his plan all along was to do what he does when Jonathan finally shows up.
I think that's why it's funny, because like it kind of goes either way.
Okay.
It could work.
All right.
Like initially you think that's maybe what he's wanting, but then you find out like, oh no.
I see.
He just had this really dumb plan.
Okay. He does have a lot of dumb plans. So Jonathan does show up finally.
Cool looking bird guy.
Yeah. So what they do is they both grab onto him and force him out this window. And they're falling down the tower. And he's like, fly, bird, fly. So finally he starts flying. But, they kind of crash because he's got two full-grown people on him.
Yeah.
But they make sure that he's still alive. But they're free, they're out, and they start booking it.
Yep. Start tracing their way back down to the south along the Sword Coast.
But then we get a gag because before Ed grabbed the bird dude, we saw them like stamping papers.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we just gave you your parole. What are you doing?
Which is the worst thing of all.
Yeah. They just waited a couple more seconds.
And it's an important note, because that's important to know, because now you know these characters are idiots. And that sometimes they make decisions that are not correct.
Are you going to say like most D&D players?
Yes. That's my argument for a lot of things in this movie. We'll get into it more as we go, but you hate this because you're like, oh, I have all these problems.
Yeah.
I look at these same problems and I say, I see this every week when I play role-playing games.
I guess.
This is the most typical D&D session I have ever seen in my life.
And maybe that's why I don't want to see it, because I see it every time I play.
It's so true to how a game actually plays out that it's just uncanny.
So they get back to Ed's house and find it abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
He does find his loot, however, still in one of the cabinets. So they're like at a bar, and they start talking about trying to find Forge, hook up with him.
Surely he has Kira.
He has Kira, he had the tablet, what's going on, we need to find him. But then, luckily, they see like this magical flyer right out of like Harry Potter, because it's like animated and stuff.
Really cool.
Kind of bugs me.
There's two wolves inside of you. This magic flyer is really cool, and it kind of bugs me.
It does bug me. But it's got Forge on it.
Yep.
And apparently he's like the Lord of Neverwinter now.
Yeah, it's another of the major Sword Coast cities. And a video game, too, Neverwinter Nights.
Yeah. And I think the point of the flyer is to promote the High Sun games that are happening soon.
Yes. Which we quickly learn also have been canceled for many years by the prior Lord Neverember, because they were sometimes gruesome. It involved adventurers squaring off with monsters in a maze, and people died, and
that should be the movie.
they didn't like it so much, and so they canceled it for the cruelty, and Ford just decided to bring it back because the people miss it.
So yeah, I'd rather watch that movie.
Well, we get it later.
Very little, and then it's not satisfying. Although it does lead to one of my favorite parts. Anyway, so they get to Neverwinter.
Yeah, they pack up and head out there.
And it's a big, prosperous city.
Looks great.
Looks nice, yeah. Looks like a nice, big fantasy city. It's a lot better than the horrible effects from the old 1999, 2000, whenever it was.
Which notably, that one, it's set in its own like universe world. Like there's no, it's not Greyhawk, it's not Realms, it's not anything.
Yeah, it's very generic. It's very god awful.
One of its many stumbling steps.
Bad. So they're like inflating this big balloon too that has Forge's face on it.
Yeah, you can tell he likes himself a lot.
Sure. So they get to the palace fairly easily. They're kind of waiting.
They're like, "Hey, we're Forge's buddies. We want to see him." And they're like, "Oh, cool. Just sit over here."
Yeah. So they find Kira. There's no big hardship here. She just sort of pops up, and notably, she kind of hugs Holga first.
Yeah.
Instead of her dad.
She's a little strained with him, seeming.
But she says that Uncle Forge has been really good to her. And she still has that necklace of invisibility, too, hanging around her neck.
Yep.
So then they finally get to Forge, and he's welcoming them warmly. He kind of tells his little story that he used some of the riches they stole to become Lord.
Yeah, Lord Neverember fell ill, and that created an opening that he could lobby to take over.
How curious.
He has Safina with him still. She's like his attendant chancellor kind of thing.
Yeah, and Ed and Holga aren't too happy about that.
And they're like, "Why are you still working with her? She fucking killed people, dude." And he's like, "Well, she's pretty handy, so I keep her around."
Yeah. So pretty quickly, Forge sort of reveals his hand here.
Yeah.
Because he's apparently told Kira that the tablet... He didn't know about the tablet. He just said
he lied
that,
about it.
So
it was a tablet of riches.
Right, tablet of riches, right. And Ed and Holga are trying to tell the truth. But Forge points out that, hey, you've been lying the whole time you've been here because you weren't freed. You were wanted. And he shows them like wanted posters and stuff.
Yeah, they've already kind of...
And Kira's like, oh, you escaped. Oh, you are just criminals. I think at that point, like, Kira runs off or something.
Yeah, she's upset.
Because it's kind of cool when Ed and Holga get trapped in the floor. Which I think that's a callback to the only kind of cool sequence in the D&D movie, the old one from 2000s.
Oh, they do kind of thing like that, don't they?
Yeah. He like stepped on a carpet and then started sinking into it. And it was done practically. So it was like one of those like mandalas or whatever. It was actual physical real thing.
Yeah, I remember that. That is like one of the decent looking parts of that.
Yeah. So they're trapped in the floor, and he's telling them kind of monologuing, basically.
He's got some great monologues in this.
Yeah, he's basically going to have them killed and collect the bounty on them.
But he says, "Don't worry, I really do care about Kira. I have come to see her as my daughter. I'll make sure she has a good life. You don't have to worry about that at all."
Yeah, I mean, that's nice of him, right?
I guess.
So for whatever reason, the guards take them like outside the palace, like into the streets of the city to kill them.
Well, he even says it. He says, "I don't want to have to watch you die because I did like you." So,
I don't know. Shut the door. Seems like there could have been a better place for it. But yeah, they distract the guards and fight.
It's a cool fight. The whole time, Ed's trying to cut open his restraints, and then Holga's just like beating the fuck out of everyone barehanded.
Okay. Yeah, this is probably a good time to go ahead and talk about one of my biggest gripes. This is a very Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm. It is. There's Guardians is all over this.
Yeah, and that's one of my issues. Because I get it. This is a movie made for mass audiences. Mm-hmm. I'm not expecting like a Conan movie. I'm not expecting Excalibur. I'm not expecting Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't take itself seriously at all. Like, anytime there's, like, a moment of any sort of potential tension or drama, it's completely undercut by a joke. And that's one of my problems with the Marvel films. I don't know if it's because, like, I think to like all the younger people, any depiction of seriousness or trying to give anything any gravitas is like cringe for some reason. But it just completely undercuts any tension, any drama, and that's just, it's not amusing for me. It's not fun for me. You know, I just don't like that. It really rubs me wrong. I don't mind jokes. I like jokes. Like The Princess Bride is a great example.
Sure.
Because it's funny as hell, but it also knows when to be serious and when to take itself seriously and be like genuine. You know, and this movie does none of that. And this is just one example because he's trying to like cut his bonds and she's fighting and it's just...
It amused me because I think Ed's not the most capable fighter, so...
Sure.
I got a laugh out of it.
Okay. And that's fine. And I also don't want to put down anyone who does enjoy the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes you just want to turn your brain off and not really think about it and just fine. But it's a trope I just don't like.
Like, for this story, I think it works. I think if, like, you took one of those Salvatore, like, The Legend of Dritz novels, if you tried to do one of those in this tone, it wouldn't work, because those are much more serious stories.
Right.
As
and,
written.
and that's another one of my complaints, because there's so much D&D lore. There's so much existing stuff they could have drawn on.
That's part of the problem is, like, D&D can be so many things.
Sure.
And you can't do it all in one.
No.
So you kind of have to pick a lane, but any lane you pick is going to, like, some people won't like that path.
Right. And I would argue that due to the fact that this was not a box office success, they chose the wrong path.
Well, there's more in that, but we'll talk about that after the plot.
Okay. Where were we? Okay, so they fight to get free. Oh, meanwhile, we see Forge with Kira, like he's lying to her, and he says, "Oh, your dad just left. I gave him the tablet of riches, and he just left without you. He doesn't care about you."
It was all he wanted. He got what he needed, and he's gone now.
Yep. And I do like that Forge actually kind of like cares for Kira at least a little bit, because he's not getting anything out of it. No. He's not getting money from her. You know, it's just.
And he doesn't mix her into his plans really either. He's like, "Oh, this is I will take care of her," and then. Also, I'm this terrible monster that's doing all this awful stuff on the side.
Right. We're allowing it to happen, really.
So back out and wondering, Ed and Holga decide they have to ruin Forge's plans, whatever's going on. They still don't really know. They want to get that tablet away from him still. They're sure it's in the vault.
Yes.
And then they kind of start to think about what's going on in this High Sun Games and all that crap. And they get a theory that knowing Forge and who he is and what he's trying to do... They think he's using the High Sun Games to bring everyone in from around the Sword Coast that is rich and wealthy to get them to gamble on the games, stash their wealth in his vaults, and then he will steal it all under their noses.
Not a bad plan.
And so they make the plan, we will steal everything under his nose while he's trying to steal everything under their nose.
Sure.
But to do that, they need a team.
You need a team.
You always got to have a team.
You got to have a team. So they talk about finding Simon, their old compatriot. And he's pretty much the first person they pick up.
Because he's a great sorcerer.
Well, they find him basically robbing townsfolk while performing cantrips. He's like doing a performance, and they're just like little simple cantrips, like conjuring scents and things like that. But at the same time, we can see him like their like valuables are like levitating and merging to a big ball that he's going to bring to himself. So he sees Ed and Holga in the audience, gets distracted, and all their jewels and coins and shit just fall to the ground. Then we get like this kind of chaotic scene where he's using magic to try to get out of the situation because all the townsfolk are mad at him. Like he uses like an anti-grav spell at one point. But we also find out that he's kind of like a wild mage, and he can't always control his
Do you want to unpack that for people if they're not D&D players?
Wild mage is a sort of character, I think typically a sorcerer, I guess nowadays.
Nowadays, yeah, for sure.
Because their magic is sort of like innate, but they can't really control it, and it does strange things.
Yeah, sometimes at random moments they will cast a spell and just something completely random happens.
Yeah. And Faerun even has like big wild magic zones that are usually avoided at all costs.
Fun times.
Yes. So
now I want to ask you a question. How did you like his depiction of spellcasting?
Kind
Because I really like it, but I wondered if you had a different feeling on it.
I'm fine with it. They show him like he's like using components and
yeah, he has like a little thing at his hip that like he spins and then it drops the component that he wants, which I thought was cool.
It's a little too steampunky for me. The device he uses. Sure. I'm a good old fashioned. Just
it made me think of the game though, because in the game that you can just buy a components pouch. Yeah. And that's supposed to have everything you need in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't annoy me too much.
But I like that he says words, he draws forth components, and he makes like the hand gestures.
Right.
He does like the whole shebang.
And that's another way to justify the magic doesn't fix everything, because if you have to have the correct components, you can't cast a spell. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
Nice.
Let's see. So they get off with Simon, and they're kind of catching up with him.
He's reluctant to rejoin them because last time was so bad.
Yeah, and he tells them that Sophina tried to kill him too after the heist. And there are rumors that she's the one who made Lord Never Ember sick.
Mm-hmm. She poisoned him somehow.
Yeah. But he's got nothing else to do. He may as well join up with his friends, right?
He can't continue his little act anymore because he's got caught.
Yeah.
And so they're talking about like, oh, who else can round out this party? And they really wanted someone who could wild shape.
Yes.
Which is a druid ability.
Yes.
And then Simon's like, well, I know a druid, but we're not really on good terms right now.
Yes.
And they're like, well, why? And he's like, well, because I tried to date her and it went bad.
Right. And her name is Doric.
Yes. And she is our next party member. She is played by Sophia Lillis, and she is adorable.
She is adorable. I like the actress is great. She was in It. She was Beverly Marsh. Mm-hmm. She was really good in that. She was in something else after that, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway.
And if Ed has any super ability in this story, it's to convince people to do things. So very reluctantly, Simon agrees to take them to meet her and pitch their case.
Yes.
And they find her with another faction of the Forgotten Realms, the Emerald Enclave. Mm-hmm. They are like the nature-focused. They want to protect nature, look out for nature, advocate for nature.
They're a bunch of militant hippies.
Yes. But they find them at war with Neverwinter forces because Forge is like rapidly deforesting the area around the city.
Yep. Exploiting all the resources and stuff.
And they are fighting over it.
And they have an elf tied up to a tree. Mm-hmm. And they're like about to execute her. And Ed's like, oh, is that her? And Simon's like, no, that's not her. And then we see the horse kind of kick off its rider.
Yeah.
And then it transforms into a big owlbear. Mm-hmm. And just starts waylaying everybody and fucking them up. An owlbear is one of the more famous D&D monsters.
It's an iconic one.
It's a mixture between a bear and an owl, as his name would, suggest.
And if you were listening and you're a die-hard D&D person, you're going to say, hey, druids can't turn into owlbears.
Okay, to that I say fuck off. That's way too pedantic. Even for me, Because I'm not so concerned with it being true to, like, D&D levels and what you can do and crap like that.
Interesting.
I'm more interested in it. As a movie, I'm interested in telling a good story in a good way.
Sure.
The D&D stuff is secondary to me. Because you have to judge it as a movie.
Right.
Because people who've never fucking played D&D or read a book in their life on it.
Don't know and don't care.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So who cares if a druid can or cannot turn into an owlbear?
But to be fair, they later made character sheets for all these characters, and they explained a reason why that is like a thing that she can do.
Okay.
That's special just for her.
Innate abilities she's got. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the reason for that is the wild shape, you can become animals, and technically in the classification of monsters, an owlbear is a monstrosity.
Right.
Not a natural animal.
Right. Now.
But it's fucking badass.
I like the owlbear in here.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks like an owlbear. Mm-hmm. It's animated well. Some of the CG in the movie isn't as good.
We're going to get to a part with really questionable CG soon, but this one looks great.
It looks really good.
Also, I like that Doric uses a sling, and they depict that kind of neat.
If it were an actual sling, yes. But what they've got is it's a fucking slingshot, and it's like harnessed onto her wrist. Mm-hmm. And that just really wouldn't work. I will be pedantic on this one. I do tend to get pedantic when it comes to weapons, like real-world weapons. Because, okay, so you've got it on your forearm, and your pull is going to be only half of what it normally should be. Mm-hmm. Because normally you'd be holding it in your hand, and it doubles the extension. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a much more of a pull and actually have a lot more force when it hits its target. Oh. So I find that to be a very sloppy, not very interesting, inefficient way to present a weapon like that.
Wow. I just thought it looked cool.
Oh boy. Okay, so they finally meet up with Doric. She saves the elf and rides off with her. They go off and find her. And yeah, we get her backstory about how she was raised. She's a tiefling, which is another D&D race.
What's a tiefling?
A tiefling is a creature with like a little bit of demon blood in them.
Yes. They have a heritage. Either their parent was a demon or a devil, or
At some point, yeah.
or in the past, it's inherited down to them.
Yeah.
They typically will have horns, or they might have like a weird skin color, tail.
And Doric has like these kind of curvy ram-like horns, and she has a tail.
And they're generally disliked.
Yeah, or mistrusted at least. Yeah. Now, as cute as she is, and it's fine. Her costume's fine. But it's kind of sad that I've seen cosplayers with more effective, cooler, more elaborate tiefling costumes than in this multi-million-dollar budgeted movie. They just glue some horns on her and give her an animated tail every now and then.
They made her very like human leaning, because you can go very demon looking. Like you can straight up just look like a Hellboy type person.
Yeah, and I think it would have been more interesting if she looked more like, Nightcrawler or something,
Because if you played popular game right now, Baldur's Gate 3, the tiefling in that Karlach, she is, red skin, huge horns.
Yeah, obviously someone of demonic heritage, They probably just wanted to keep her cuter. I don't know. But...
Also, I think technically, Jason, before someone flags us on this, and I don't think anyone will, but in case, it's devils, because devils and demons are two different things.
You're right.
In D&D.
My bad. Of course.
Avoid our nerd alert.
Yeah, let's not do that. All right, so yeah, she gives her backstory. She was raised by the Emerald Enclave, so she's very protective of the area here, and she will join them in order to put an end to Forge's reign. Yes. Meanwhile, we have a scene with Sophina, who's talking to another red wizard, magically, like he's appearing like in the mirror and stuff like that.
This is our setup for sequels that won't happen.
Yeah, sequels that will never happen, which is another reason why I'm like, don't hold back your good bad guy. Go ahead and bring out your good bad guy. They can get away, a la Darth Vader at the end of the movie.
Sure. But
don't hold off on them. Just go ahead and bring them out. Because I will say the villains in this movie strike me as very weak. But anyway, so it turns out this is Zaz Tam.
Yes, the ruler of Thay.
And he's like this undead...
He's a lich.
And the lich is an undead wizard. It's like a wizard who in life sought to live forever. So they make all these horrible bargains and shit like that. And
they're undead sorcerers.
Yes.
They're fucking evil.
So we kind of see him, and he looks kind of lichy, kind of skeletal, whatnot.
He's cool looking.
And he's talking about how her work here is almost done, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So now we learn that he specifically had sent her to get in the mix on all of this to do something nefarious to Neverwinter.
Yes. Meanwhile, after that, Forge is telling these wealthy patrons about how well protected the vault is. He's like showing them around. They're there for the games. They're going to gamble.
Stash your loot and gamble to your heart's content.
And okay, this is kind of a funny joke because they're standing in front of this big elaborate vault with this big like image on it. And, Forge is like, Sophina, tell them about how well protected this vault is. And she just says, it has the seal of Mordenkainen. And that's it. That's all she says. He's like, yes, that's right. So she says it like it's enough. Like they should know exactly what this means.
Yeah.
But we find out later that this is a magical seal. It like repels magic. It's
nothing can penetrate.
You can't get around it. You have to have like the key or whatever. But it turns out that Sophina's been spying on them because she's in the form of a fly.
Doric,
sorry. And Sophina senses her.
Because that's step one of their plan, was they were going to recon and figure out how the vault worked.
Yeah, which is why they wanted a shapeshifter. One of the reasons. But yeah, Sophina senses her, and she's like trying to blast her. And this does lead to one of the more fun scenes in the movie, in my opinion.
It's fun, but some of the CG here is heinously bad.
Yes.
The animal forms.
They obviously stretch themselves a little too far here. But it's a cool sequence because, and I can forgive the dodgy CG if it's in service of a cool sequence.
And this is a really cool sequence.
Yeah, because she's getting away and she keeps transforming into all these different animals in order to do so. Like she turns into a mouse, and the mouse like crawls into a suit of armor at one point.
She goes back to being a human, and she's like a soldier. And
And the guards find her, and she's like, oh shit. So she goes back into a mouse, and then like to a snake, to a bird.
The deer part is like where it's really bad looking.
That's when it gets dodgy. Yeah. But the whole time she's going through all these like tight spaces and out windows, and we're kind of following her, and they're shooting arrows at her when she's a bird, and she's flipping around. And yeah, she finally gets away. But yeah, the deer CG is pretty dodgy, which leads me to believe, why couldn't they just, I don't know,
film
in an actual deer? Whatever.
Who knows?
Because it wasn't doing anything magical. It was just running.
But now they know that there's a seal. Simon does some research, and he's like, I'm nowhere near strong enough to break that. But there's a magic relic called the Helm of Disjunction, and it can nullify any magic in its presence.
Yes.
So if we had that, we could use it.
Yeah, he says it was lost. No one knows where it's at. But apparently it was supposed to have been lost at this battle, which coincidentally, Holga's tribe is from.
Arden. Yep.
Yeah.
They were there on the battlefield when it happened. So she's like, well, my ancestors would know.
Yeah. There's a lot of coincidences in this movie. This is another thing that bothers me. It's from a screenwriting, perspective. It's just.
Let me ask you, Jason, are they coincidences, or is the DM,
God. Fuck you.
The DM being a good DM and weaving the players' backstories into the plot?
That's artificial, though, and you can't. This isn't a game. This is a movie.
My argument thesis that I am pursuing this entire time is that this is a tabletop session encapsulated.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So then they're like, well, we need to be able to speak to the dead somehow. There's like spells for that. We'll need a cleric.
Well, luckily Simon says he has a charm that allows him to speak to the dead.
Yep.
They can ask him a few questions.
And they're like, cool. So we'll head there, get some info. On the way, though, Holga wants to stop off at her old hometown and visit her ex-husband.
Yeah.
We get a little bit on her backstory.
Yeah, and sight gag. Because it turns out he's a halfling.
She kind of has a thing for halflings, it turns out.
Played by Bradley Cooper.
And he's now married to, is it supposed to be like a Goliath or something?
I think it's just, I thought it was just another barbarian like Holga. Like he just has a type.
I don't know. She's fucking huge, dude.
Maybe she is supposed to be a Goliath. I'm not sure.
But yeah, she's bigger and more musclier than Holga.
Yeah.
And it's funny because she's like, I hope you're happy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I am happy. I wish that you could be happy too. And it's really sad because like she has a lot of regret in it, but he like just wants her to move on and be happy, but like she can't, but he has.
Right.
And I think you could argue that this is like superfluous and not needed as a scene, but I like it because it sets up this ongoing thing that like this whole adventuring party, each one of them are like fuck ups in their own regard.
Yes. It's as what's what I'm looking for? As perfunctorily as they do it, the movie does try to give everyone a backstory and some sort of an arc.
Yeah.
It's not overly successful, I would argue, but it does it. But meanwhile, she takes like his favorite walking stick with her.
Yeah.
Okay. So put a pin in that.
They'll come back later.
Yeah. But so she's kind of sad leaving, and then Ed actually does a bardy thing, and he starts singing, trying to cheer her up as they're leaving. And I kind of wish they showed him doing more bardic type stuff, because he doesn't really do a lot. Like, he never really even fights that much.
Nope.
You know? And I don't need him, like, casting bardic spells, but just, I don't know, doing bardic things would have been interesting. So I like it whenever he, like, starts singing or something. It makes it more, you know. Anyway. It was a nice touch. I'm trying to give the movie a compliment, Dustin.
I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get.
So they get to this graveyard, right? Big, massive graveyard. And they start digging up Holga's ancestors. They can only ask the thing 5 questions.
And then it becomes a corpse again.
Right. So there's a joke about the questions. Like, why just 5 questions? And
the corpse keeps answering.
Yeah, does that count as a question? Yes. So they have to keep digging up more bodies because they keep wasting their questions.
Well, I like how it escalates in comedy because at first that's the funny thing, but then it's that every person they talk to is like, well, I had the helmet, but then this person took it, and then I got killed.
Yeah.
So then they have to go find that person.
And we're getting a flashback of the battle of where they had the helm, and we do see this cool black dragon.
Hell yeah.
Flying around, spitting out acid on people. And I wanted more of this. This flashback of actual warriors, like, fighting and the fucking dragon. more of that, please. That's D&D to me. That's the D&D movie I signed up for.
This is a heist adventure. It's not that story.
And I didn't get it.
And if you're wondering, because you're not a D&D person, why acid and not fire?
That's what black dragons do.
Black dragons spit acid.
Yeah. Line of acid at you. Each dragon has like a different shtick, basically. They breathe something differently.
Yep. It's cool.
It is cool.
So eventually they get the whole story, and what they learn is that the last person that had the helm was trying to get it out of the battlefield, and then they were injured and they were dying, and they bumped into a paladin named Zink Yendar.
Yep.
And he was very honorable, and they gave him the helmet, and he said he would take it and guard it and protect it.
Yes. And they start seeking out this Zink.
Mm-hmm.
Zink.
Zink.
And we see him saving a tabaxi kitten from a giant fish.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. Which Zink is played by Roger Jean Page.
Who also got the assignment.
He is... I wish he was in the whole movie, man. I fucking love him. He's my favorite character.
I'm at the same... He plays it so well.
This dude is the kind of characters that I make.
I'm a little... Because he's almost like a Vulcan. Mm-hmm. He's kind of emotionless. He's very honorable. He's just... he takes everything literally. He doesn't even really seem to understand idioms and stuff. He speaks overly eloquently. Mm-hmm. And the guy does a really good job as him. And yes, I wish he was in more of the movie.
But also the way they portray him, it's like he's much higher level than them too. Yes. So he's kind of above what they're doing.
And if you're wondering what a tabaxi is, it's basically a cat person.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this tabaxi mother who's obviously concerned about her kitten, and they've got this fish up on the pier, and everyone's trying to save the kitten, but Zink just comes up and he's communing with it. And opens its mouth, and he takes the kitten out. And it's a scene that simultaneously infuriates and makes me go, "Aww."
And it's funny because they're watching from the sidelines, and it's just like, "Ugh, this guy."
Yeah,
because everyone loves him.
Sure, why wouldn't they? He saves kittens. He literally saves kittens. So they're talking with the paladin.
Mm-hmm. And we get a little of Zink's backstory, too. We get the whole story later, but he was from Thay originally, and he fled whenever Zastam rose into power.
Yes.
And then that made him become a paladin and vow to fight against evil at every corner.
Yeah, because he tells them about how Zastam used... he was using that horn thing that we saw. And he had this unholy coup, Zink calls it. But basically, they had a bunch of people if they assembled, and they used this horn to cast a spell that descends this big red mist on everyone and turns them into undead that they can control.
Yep.
Zink escaped, obviously. Barely. And he says, okay, I'm going to help you because this is an honorable quest, right? But he makes Ed swear that he will share the wealth of Forge with the people of Neverwinter.
He says, I stashed the helm in the Underdark so that it could never be retrieved by anyone else, but I know where it is and we can go get it.
Yes.
And then everyone is like, oh, the Underdark.
Ooh, it's scary.
Because that's another thing. This is vast underground network of caverns and tunnels and caves that stretch under the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
And many nasty creatures
it's a
reside
big
down there.
ecosystem unto itself.
Mm-hmm. It's like a whole other world.
Meanwhile, we see that there's these hunter dudes that Sofina has sent out to track down our heroes.
They've sent some Thayan assassins.
And they're on their trail. And I did write here in my notes that it does kind of bother... I wrote, it bothers me that the only sincere character, Zink, is treated like a joke. Because he is constantly being treated like a joke. But he's sincere, And I just wanted more of that in the movie, instead of just constant quips and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority.
But I really love it when they're planning their Underdark excursion, and he's kind of quipping with people. And I think it's or maybe it's Simon cracks a joke to him, and he doesn't understand it. And then Simon's like, oh, I was being ironic. And then he says, well, I find that irony is a blade that cuts both ways sharply.
Yeah.
Like he has a little quip
And
for everything.
That's a good line. But again, he's like a Vulcan almost, you know?
But he takes a big interest in Ed because he knows that he was a Harper. And he starts trying to talk to him about like returning to that.
Yeah.
And Ed's like, nah, that's not me anymore, man. I've fallen way off.
Right.
And then he's like, well, I think you could.
Yeah, Zink sees good in him.
Yeah.
But as they're traveling through the Underdark, another complaint I'm going to lay on you right now, we see this cool, like, underground city off in the distance. And they're just sort of, like, bypassing it. And I'm like, no, go there. I want more of that. That's what I want in my D&D movie. And I'm not getting it.
Okay, I can talk about this because I'm kind of an Underdark guy when it comes to the Forgotten Realms. I love the Underdark. That city originally was supposed to be Menzoberranzan.
Right, which is the famous Drow city.
Which is the most famous Drow, a.k.a. Dark Elf city in the Underdark. It's their capital town. Originally in the script, they were supposed to go and infiltrate Menzoberranzan, and he had stashed it somewhere there.
That's fun.
However, unfortunately, in the many years of production it took to make this film, I don't even know how to get into this because it's a big thing, but like... The whole atmosphere around D&D had been shifting, and there was a lot of, like...
Drow are racist, basically, was the argument.
I don't want to say social justice-y stuff, but, I mean, it kind of is that, but kind of not. But it was like, there's this whole thing that, like, oh, the Drow are, like, not a good thing now because they have black skin and they're evil, and it says that people with black skin are evil, which is totally not...
I think they're just evil that happen to have black skin.
Yeah, it's totally unrelated. But it became such
It's more gray skin, too. Anyway.
It depends on the artist, because sometimes it's even purple. But it became this whole thing, and the end result was, like, Hasbro did this, Paizo did this with Pathfinder. A lot of companies did this. They were like, we just need to stop having Dark Elves. It's too much of a problem. We don't want the drama. We don't want the clap back on social media. Let's just, like, dial back on them. And I hate it, because the Drow are unequivocally my number one favorite race in D&D of all time. I fucking love them.
They're
I think
cool.
they're great.
They're complicated.
They're complicated.
Which is something they don't, they want to avoid, right?
They're interesting. They're cool.
They're mysterious.
And they're not all evil. That's the most famous one, Dritz Do'Urden, is a hero. He's like one of the greatest heroes of the realm.
I don't think anyone ever thought that, every member of every race is evil. Not every orc's evil. Not every drow is evil, because orcs got roped into it too.
Yeah. And I don't know where that started or how it came to be, and I hope we're going to move past that at some point.
It's ridiculous.
And that's the other thing. This is a fun note. Originally, Zink was supposed to be Dritz, and that was going to be a huge, big cameo in the middle of the film. And
his character would have been out of place in this, because they're not taking it seriously enough.
Right. And then they redid it and turned him into Zink, to just take Drow out completely.
That was probably a good move.
So yeah, they bypassed the cool-looking Underdark city.
Yeah. A place ripe with adventure. Let's not go there.
And then if you play Baldur's Gate 3, and you're up on your Mind Flayer knowledge, we get a fun scene where some intellect devourers come by, and Zink kind of tells them what they are, and he's like, stop, be motionless, try not to have thoughts. They only prey on people that are very intelligent.
Yeah, they're basically these little walking brains.
And they like to suck the brains out of people.
Yeah. But they're all lined up against the wall being still, and the intellect devourers just walk right past them.
Don't even spare a moment to pause.
Okay. That in itself is kind of funny. But then they got to put a hat on the joke. And I think it's Ed that says, that's a little hurtful. We already got the joke. We got it. You don't need to explain everything. Although they're making movies for... Okay. Yeah. You don't need to explain it. It's funnier without explaining the joke. Okay. Anyway. So they come to a bridge.
We get to this cool place with like lava going on.
Yeah. It's a bridge over lava. Classic setting. Classic. Great. Can't go wrong with it.
And we get an awesome D&D style trap.
Yeah, and he's explaining the trap, and it's overly complicated, and he's explaining it.
You got to step here and do back steps and crossways.
Every bit of minutia he's explaining. But before he even gets done, Simon like steps on it, and then the whole bridge it's like a systemic failure. It just collapses into the lava. So they're like, okay, well, how are we going to get across? Okay, this annoys the piss out of me. So Simon looks over and says, oh, that's not a walking stick that you've got, Holga. That's a hither-thither stick.
Which is a real magic item. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but she just happens to have exactly what they need when they need it.
Because the DM seeded that to them.
Or it's lazy screenwriting.
In the earlier scene.
Lazy. Fucking lazy. So what this does, it's like a portal gun. It creates
basically.
a portal in one place, another that you can see within 500 yards.
Very handy magic item.
So they just use it just to hop over to the other side of the bridge. So this seeming complication isn't a complication at all. And they introduce this very powerful magic device that the rest of the plot of the movie hinges on, mind you. Just out of nowhere. She just happens to have it. Fucking annoying. Okay. I'll be all right.
Cool. But yeah, they find the helm. They secure the helm. However, the Thayan assassins have caught up to them.
Yes.
And then Zink just is like, hey, go.
He does detect evil.
Yeah.
Because he senses them before they come up.
Which is
That's a paladin ability.
Yeah, paladin trademark.
So we get this fight scene.
It's one of the most epic fights in the whole film.
It's one of the better ones. And it's just the paladin fighting all the guards and stuff.
And it's cool. The lead assassin, he actually uses a spell from the game that's very noticeable, Green Flame Blade.
Yes.
Where it wraps your sword in green flames.
Yes.
So I was trying to figure out what his class was. I think probably like Eldritch Knight, I would bet.
Oh, yeah.
I had to
the whole
guess.
psychic ability thing, yeah. So then he kills them all, basically, but then they just get right back up because they're a bunch of Thayans and already dead. So then they all just start running.
And then we get another iconic cameo.
Yeah.
The morbidly obese red dragon, Thimberchode, which is an iconic Forgotten Realms dragon. He's an ancient dragon who has gorged himself to obscenity.
He's a chunky boy.
He's a chunky boy, and he, from time to time, will roam and find a new lair. And his current lair happened to be right next to this little temple.
Yes. So it comes out and basically starts giving chase.
Yep.
Okay, so I got a problem with this.
Really?
Shocking. I know.
I love this part. It's fun.
I don't have anything against the chunky dragon. Although
He's adorable.
we get a dragon and then it's immediately treated as a joke. You know, it's like one of the most formidable, scary monsters. Its name's in the title of Dungeons and Dragons, and it's a joke. You know? And then what's even more is that they don't even fight it. There's one sequence where it's about to chomp on Ed, and Zink runs up with a sword and stabs it in the head.
Yeah.
Doesn't kill it. More or less distracts it so it doesn't eat Ed. But that brings me to my larger complaint, is that we see a lot of D&D monsters here, but never once are they fought or interacted with really in any way. And that annoys me. Because, ooh, an owlbear, cool. I want to see them fight the owlbear. You know, a dragon. I want to see them fight the dragon. We don't get any of that. There's a monster, an iconic monster that shows up later. I would love a real fight with. Nothing. They run away from everything. Or it's treated like a joke. And it's just, what's the point? You know?
I mean, they are fuck-ups.
Still, it's just, it's not thrilling to me. It's not exciting to me.
And he is an ancient red dragon, so I also don't think even with Zink in tow they could win. So, despite his deficiencies,
maybe give them a foe that they can defeat, or at least they
want to use this guy because he's iconic, you know.
Okay, so eventually they get away from the dragon.
Yep.
Is there anything happening here that we need to talk about?
The assassins fall in the lava in the interim, and
the dragon eats some of them, I think. So they finally get back to the surface, and Zink's like, "Okay, my work here is done. I wish you well on your quest.
Remember your promise to give away all the gold.
Remember your promise."
And then he kind of gives Ed a pep talk, and he's like, I really do think that you're a good man, and you've just lost your way.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever.
Right.
So now Simon has to attune to the helm.
Yes.
Which is a D&D thing. If you have a magic item, you have to sit with it and kind of meditate and focus.
It didn't show up till 5th edition, did it?
No, 5th edition was the start of that. And entwine its energies with your own body and be able to control it.
Yeah.
And this is where we meet Elminster.
Yeah, because he's worried because he said earlier that he's never been very good at attuning to something.
Yeah. Before they even went to go get this, he was like, hey, I'll never be able to attune to that, so we need a different plan.
Yeah.
And Ed's plan was just, when you really need to do it, you'll be able to do it.
You'll be able to do it, no problem. So yeah, Elminster appears to him was apparently like his great-grandfather or something.
Yeah, he's his ancestor.
But Elminster's like, hey, you can't do this. You're not ready for this. And
you're not even a fraction of the strength that's needed to do it.
Yeah. Keeps like bopping him out of the vision and the helm falls off and stuff. It's sort of like in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Same
He's
bit.
knocked out of his body or whatever. It's same thing. So he's falling to a tomb, but he's like, keep trying. Don't give up. Keep doing it, Ed tells him.
And this is kind of our all is lost moment because everyone's ready to just give up and pack it in.
Mm-hmm.
And Ed kind of gives them a little pep talk himself. And he's like, hey, this is what we do. I make a plan, and if the plan goes bad, I make a new plan. And we just pivot and keep going and keep trying. Because the moment we stop trying, we have truly lost.
Yeah.
And we're failures.
And it's during this point that he admits what he did, that he took some of the gold that was the Thayan treasure.
Because the harbors don't pay much.
Yeah. But that's how they tracked him down to his house, because he had the gold in his house.
They enchant all their gold, and they can track its signal. Mm-hmm. And that's why they knew it was there. So it was technically his own greed that started everything.
Yeah. So they're all like renewed to help again after this admission and stuff like that.
And they decide, since they have this cool teleport staff, that can become the new clutch of their plan.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to use the staff to place a portal on a portrait, sneak that portrait into the vault, and then be able to warp inside and not even worry about the barrier. Barrier is irrelevant now.
Yeah. And this is actually another sequence I really liked. Because that's a cool idea.
It's great.
Because what they do is they just buy this old picture, rip out the picture itself, cut it so they can just take it off. They put the portal on the frame, and you put the picture back over the portal, right?
Great.
So then they sneak it into one of the treasure wagons heading up there to Neverwinter.
And that's a funny sequence, too.
There's some cool visual effects here.
It goes wrong a little bit.
Yeah. Because people are like hanging out from underneath the carriage, but they're like half in the portal, half out. So yeah, this was a pretty fun sequence. See, I'm giving the movie accolades where I can. I'm trying to be impartial. So finally, they get to the High Sun Games, and we see them all kind of preparing, and Forge is basically saying something about how the crowd can't. Oh yeah, it's like he's doing like an announcement, and telling the crowd, be sure not to leave the arena because there's a surprise at the end. Everyone's getting a gift,
a free gift,
it's like from Oprah with a car,
Lord Forge.
Man, nothing nefarious about that, I'm sure. So yeah, we see them taking the treasure into a room. Mm-hmm. The picture's in there, but the picture's it like falls on the floor. So the portal it's portal side down,
which is a problem.
A problem because they can't get through it that way. But Doric like starts digging at it with like a dagger blade, trying to make enough room for she can turn into a worm and then crawl under.
Yeah, if she can get just enough space, she can slip through.
Yeah.
And she says, I'll work on this. You guys go do other stuff.
Meanwhile, Simon has given them sending stones to communicate with.
Another fun magic item.
And sending stones are basically, like a walkie-talkie, more or less. You can send short messages back and forth through them. So they get into the palace by using a distraction. They have an illusion spell.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about this. This is when we finally get him to do a full-on bard song.
Okay.
And it's fucking great.
It's great toolism.
I love when it messes up.
See, it's too modern looking. It's like it's too modern.
Because it's like he's singing and he's approaching the guards, and they're kind of like, oh, the fuck?
I love the fact that he's actually singing and like distracting, and they're kind of almost entranced by it too, which is something that bards can do.
But then, notably, Simon's not always the best spellcaster,
right?
So he starts to flub it because you have to focus and concentrate on that. It's minor illusion, by the way, spell cantrip. And then he gets it wrong, so then he starts like repeating, like it's a record skipping.
Right.
And then he starts to like melt.
Yeah.
As a visual.
Yeah. Which gets to the modernity of it. It kind of ruins the joke for me. I think it would have been a little, because it sounds too like a skipping record or something.
I forgot that happened in this rewatch. I fucking cackled when it occurred. Okay. I thought it was so funny.
I do like the guards' reactions because they're like, "Oh, what's going on?" That was funny.
I think because I was just imagining what it would be like to see that happen before you, and to see a person just like body horror melt.
Yeah. So Simon finally has attuned the helmet by basically punching Elminster.
Yeah, he gets to the vault again with it's Holga, right? They're trying to do that route.
Yeah.
And they're cornered and the guards are coming and he really needs to finally do it. And true to Ed's word, like he throws the helmet on, Elminster's there. He's like, come on, man, you can't do it. And he's like, no, I can do it. My friends believe in me. I believe in me.
Yes.
And then Elminster actually morphs, and you realize it was never him holding him back. It was Simon himself.
Yes.
His own doubt.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they've been trying to do this as a backup plan in case Doric can't get into the vault, but she does manage to. But she finds herself... She breaks into the real vault...
Well, finish up with Holga and Simon.
Okay,
they break into the quote-unquote real vault.
They break into the real vault, but it's empty.
Nothing there. Nothing
Whereas
at all.
Doric is into the vault, and it's the actual real vault, but it's an area beneath the stadium where the Heisum games are taking place.
Which is
all the
weird.
riches, all the goods are not in the vault with the seal of Mordenkainen. They are elsewhere.
And then, meanwhile, Ed has slipped in to go get Kira, and they have a weird reunion because she's acting funny, which is because it's actually Sophina in disguise.
Right.
And she apprehends him.
Yes.
And then meanwhile, Simon and Holga are cornered in the abandoned vault and apprehended.
Oh, and they're all apprehended by Evard's black tentacles, I think is the spell.
Classic spell. Mm-hmm. And then Doric, unfortunately, is discovered and captured as well.
There are some early captured.
It's the all is lost moment.
Yep.
And at first, Sophina just wants to kill them, and then Forge has a fun idea.
Make them fight in the arena.
Because Ed kind of pitches that. He's like, at least give us a chance. And then he's like, that would be funny, sure. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sophina could just do whatever she wants at this point. Mm-hmm. She doesn't need Forge or any of them, but she goes along with it. But she says that, they said that they deserve it for defeating her men.
Yeah.
Like they deserve a chance. They've shown themselves to be capable warriors, so they deserve a chance, basically, is what she's saying. And I wrote in my notes, just kill the fuckers.
I think they've been annoying enough that she wants them to suffer a little, and there's definitely some nasty things in the game, so...
But however, from info that Doric has gathered in the room that she appeared in, they realize that Forge is going to leave with all the goods via a boat.
Yep, he's having it all transferred.
Yep. And they find themselves in the arena. All the spellcasters have like a magic suppression cuff on them, so they can't use their spells.
It's really not fair.
Well, I mean, yeah, it does pretty much nullify those classes that rely on magic, doesn't it?
Yep.
And we see some other contestants in the games.
We get a fun cameo here.
Briefly, we see the animated characters from the old D&D cartoon Made Flesh. And that did warm my heart because I grew up watching that. But then it also made me be like, I want to watch their movie. How'd they wind up here? What's going on with them? What did Venger do to them to make them here?
You know, I've not checked into it, but they've done like a newer comics run that's like continued their story.
Yeah. Maybe that's part of it.
Maybe it's part of it.
Are they going to run into Tiamat? What's going to happen? Yeah.
I never had an attachment to the D&D cartoon.
Sure.
I know you probably did, right?
Oh yeah,
you were right.
I watched it religiously. Yeah.
See, I was the age where like I missed it when it aired.
Sure.
And then it never really rerunned in a place I could watch it.
Right.
So
yeah, no, I loved it. It was one of the few Saturday morning cartoons that I made a point to watch.
And then when I finally came to it, I was much older, and I was like, why is there acrobat? Why does the paladin only have a shield? Why does...
Because they couldn't be sticking people with swords all the time. That's why. But
like I just was never at the right age to be receptive to it.
Sure, that's fair. You missed it. It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about because I'm a little too old for it.
That was my childhood, man.
Right. Right. So
this is a shifting maze.
It's a shifting maze.
And it's flooded with monsters, and they're supposed to try to get to the other side.
So we see one of the coolest D&D monsters.
Yes.
This Placer Beast comes out. And it's basically this panther with these tentacles. It's got 6 legs.
And the tentacle tips can project illusions.
Right, so it makes like a copy of itself. You're never sure which is the right one.
Very fun.
They run away. Now, granted, they don't have any weapons. But once again, we don't see them fight anything. But apparently you got to run around and find weapons. Mm-hmm. Because we see the animated crew open up a chest and there's a big axe in there and Bobby the Barbarian brings it out and everyone's grinning. Yeah, we got a weapon. Again, I just want to watch their story.
We get so many iconic monsters here. Holga and Doric find a chest, but it turns out to be a mimic.
A mimic, yeah.
Which is a creature that disguises itself as an object and then tries to devour people. Treasure chest being a very common one.
Yep.
That one's fun.
It is. We don't doesn't get to do much. We see Doric. She found something, some weapon, and cuts its
tongue,
pseudopod off. Yeah. So a gelatinous cube shows up. And
that's fun.
We see another adventurer run into it. And for those who don't know, a gelatinous cube is like
a big slime.
It's big, almost transparent slime. And you get stuck in it, and it's acidic, and it devours you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, luckily, her hand was in it. She pulls it off, but her cuff comes off with it.
Which is handy.
Mm-hmm. And then the guy inside is dissolving. I could have done more body horror. That'd been full, like the Blob or something. I could see it actually happening.
Oh, God.
That'd be great. Anyway.
That was always my reference point, actually, for gelatinous cube stuff.
Oh, sure.
Was the Blob remake.
Yeah, I love that movie. So the Displacer Beast is coming out, and they're like, oh, shit, what are we going to do? So they all decide to jump into the cube.
Well, because when the maze shifts, parts descend into that under part where the treasure is.
Right.
So Doric has the idea that whenever the maze shifts, they can jump in the cube, let it drop them down, and then she will shape into an animal and slip out and get everybody out.
Yeah, that kind of bothered me. The ease of their escape and stuff.
I'm okay with it.
And also, a gelatinous cube can attack. It can move. It has pseudopods, but maybe I'm getting too nerdy.
Maybe this one's like drugged or something.
It's like drugged. maybe they fed it a bunch of Thorazine before.
I don't know how else you're gonna get all this shit in here and not make it just go into the crowd and rampage. Like that Displacer Beast, man. Like it would be easier to run up and get the crowd.
Yeah. Okay, so they wind up in the inner workings of the arena. They manage to get the Forge's ship and intercept him.
And they decide...
Him and Kira.
Well, no, first they decide they're going to steal his boat.
Yes.
And then Forge shows up with Kira to escape.
Yeah, and he's holding a dagger at Kira at one point.
Which finally he plays his hand and she realizes that he's been lying to her.
Yes. Holga uses a potato to take him out because there's this running joke about her liking potatoes. And yeah, they escape in the boat.
Everything's good. Got the treasure, screwed over Forge, saved Kira. Job well done, right?
Yeah. But meanwhile, Sofina's casting this evil-ass looking spell, and all the merchants around her and stuff are like, they're just ignoring her. Like, what's she going on about? Oh, it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, she's like,
she throws back her hood triumphantly, revealing the tattoos of a red wizard.
Yeah.
And she activates this ritual of the red mist.
Yeah, and from the boat, they can see the beckoning death being invoked. The red mist is ascending around the area, in the arena and stuff.
And they realized the games was to bring everyone together so they could make this huge undead army in the heart of Neverwinter.
Right.
And then Thay can take over the city.
So they decide to use the portal thingy to cause all of the loot that's in the boat to spill out of the balloon.
That's flying around the town.
That's flying around the town because it has Forge's face on it and it's like coming out of his mouth. He's like vomiting gold and stuff.
So they can get people to leave the stadium.
Yeah, everyone starts to leave to get the money. And Sofina sees them all leaving. He gets pissed off.
And basically, almost no one turns into a zombie.
Right.
Ruining the plan.
Yeah. Okay. I got an issue with this. Could there be, like, no spell she could cast to keep people inside? Could they not just use, I don't know, portcullises to lower and lock everyone in so they can't leave? Why rely on just the subterfuge of there being a gift at the end of the games? They could have just used portcullises.
I guess she just didn't expect
or
such a plan.
She's a shitty villain. So we get a fight scene.
Yep,
with everybody and Sofina.
They got to square off with her finally.
Yep. So we get a lot of different types of spells here.
This is a great fight too. I like it.
It's okay. I don't necessarily hate it. Yeah, we see the owlbear again. There's an animated statue at one point.
Simon uses, was it Bigby's hand?
Yeah, they're using Bigby's hand at one point, fighting one another. Some back and forth. Sofina tries another like time stop thing.
Oh, and notably too, it's very slight, but when you watch this fight, they technically have an initiative order.
They're all like going at the same, okay,
yeah,
different times.
Technically, the way each one pops off, it's a static order.
Okay, that's fun.
Which is a fun little nod to the games.
Now Simon actually counters this spell but they're pretending like he didn't. Mm-hmm. So they're all just kind of staying still to trick her.
And she's doing her like villainous gloating and talking about how she's going to kill them all. And
yeah. But meanwhile, Kira, using her necklace of invisibility, has slapped one of those cuffs on her, so she doesn't have her magic. And Dork turns into an owlbear and I guess beats her to death. Because she's slamming her into the ground and then throws her up against the building. Mm-hmm. I don't see her surviving this, especially without any magic.
No.
You know? However, Holga has been stabbed somewhere along the way.
Yeah, by one of Safina's daggers, which we had learned earlier, they're always treated with special substances that make them fatal.
She dies, but they immediately bring her back with the tablet.
It's a heartwarming thing, because she even tells him, like, hey, don't cry for me. I'm just some fuck-up warrior, like, whatever. But then Ed thinks about it, and he realizes how important she is to Kira, and that really, truly, she kind of has been more of Kira's mom.
Kira knows Holga much more than she knew her mother, because she was just an infant then.
And he had been holding the tablet, he had been saving it to bring back the wife, and he's like, no, I need to do this for Kira.
Yeah.
And they bring her back. And immediately she's like, oh, Ed, you're a fucking idiot, man. Come on. Why'd you do this?
Because the tablet does, like...
crumble.
Yeah, it evaporates, so it can't be used again.
And there may not be another one.
Another movie or a tablet?
Both.
So they all have a nice moment together at the end, celebrating and stuff. And we see Forge still trying to escape, but Zinc shows up and stops Forge.
We get some cool wrap-up stuff here. Holga, Ed, and Kira kind of go off to be a family together, have a good life.
Yeah.
Ed might pick back up his Harper stuff. We don't know. Doric actually expresses, some interest in Simon now, and that she'd be open to dating him again, and that he's not as much of a loser as she thought he was.
Yeah.
Lord Neverember is restored. He's healed now that Sofina's gone. Mm-hmm. And he declares them all heroes of the realm and gives them accolades and awards and celebrates them. And meanwhile, Zinc sends Forge off to Revel's End.
Yes.
And we come full circle back to the prison for our finale.
And we see him trying the same trick that they tried. But they have since bricked up the window that they escaped out before. So his plan does not work.
And then they stamp his pardon denied.
And then we get an ending song, which annoyed me.
And there's a fun mid-credits thing it does.
What was the mid-credits thing again?
They never did the last question with the one skeleton.
Oh, that's right. The dude's still there.
So it cuts back to him in the battlefield, and he's just saying, like, can anyone ask me a question?
Yeah.
Please ask me a question. I want to die.
That's right. I forgot about that.
It's a fun little D&D humor.
The end.
And that's the movie.
Whew. Okay. All right.
It's a lot.
So we talked a little bit about production and stuff like that.
Sure. I've got some more notes I can get into, though, for sure.
I mean, reception wasn't that bad. It got mostly positive reviews, more or less. Some were lukewarm. Some, whatever.
Yep.
It had a budget of $150 million, though, and it only made $208 at the box office.
And that's always going to be a killer for any film,
right?
As we know.
You have to factor in promotion and all that good stuff. And
Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that was going wrong at the time.
Sure.
At that moment, even though it's more popular than it's ever been, D&D was having some branding issues, I guess you would say. They were having some bad will that was building up with people. It was coming out, the film, at the same time that, they were trying to change the open gaming license, which is a big important part of D&D, that where anyone can make their own stuff and publish it,
right,
as long as they follow certain rules. They were trying to make that more restrictive. They were trying to make that more like you have to give Hasbro money to do things. Mm-hmm. And people were really mad about it. There was a lot of backlash. Whole companies were changing their policies about how they were doing things in response to it.
Yep.
Fans were really upset. They were also starting to kind of make this revision to 5th edition, which is what we have now, 5.5, or was it 1D&D, some people call it.
Yeah.
That was a mixed bag. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. Some people were quitting because of it.
Yeah.
There were literally, at the time, boycotts being called on this movie.
Not to mention Hasbro sending their goon lawyers after people who mistakenly got magic sets they weren't supposed to, and...
Yeah. So at the time, there was a lot of bad will toward Hasbro. Not really just D&D, but because of that, it really did hurt this movie. People did not go see this because they were pissed about what Hasbro was doing. And that definitely like was a shoot yourself in the foot moment, I think, for this film.
Yep.
Because like if this had come out even just 2 or 3 years before, I think it would have been a slam dunk.
Oh, if this came out in like 2018, well,
Yeah.
I guess post COVID is when it was really, which this is post COVID, but like maybe
Like right after.
21, 22, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, just wind back a year or two. This would have been a slam dunk.
Yeah.
We'd probably already have the sequel.
Yeah.
But it was the time that it was, and they didn't even try to like navigate any of those problems either.
No.
So
I don't think they ever recovered from it, to be honest with you.
it really crippled this film, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Some fun notes I have.
Sure, go for it.
Let's see. Chris Pine, he agreed to be Edgin because he thought the character was very atypical for a fantasy film leading man. He said that at one time he had set in on his nephew playing D&D with his friends and saw how much fun they were having and what a unique experience it was. Justice Smith, who played Simon, he actually had a choreographer that he worked with to make a unique gesture for every spell that he cast. And they incorporated elements of sign language into those gestures. So sometimes the motions he was making was like the words of what the spell was.
Okay.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Michelle Rodriguez said that to embody Holga, she grew out her armpit hair and also gained 15 pounds of muscle. To live that barbarian life.
Go for it.
Hugh Grant said he was very concerned about the role because he knew that D&D was a tough crowd of fans to come at. And he said he really hoped his performance would win them over. In an interview, he said, "I'm scared stiff of the gamers because they're very territorial about the things that they love. So they may want to hate it, but they're not allowed to. I hope they love me."
He's very perceptive. Very perceptive.
One of the best jokes of the movie, Chancellor Jarnathan, he's played by Clayton Grover in a Legacy Effects suit with an animatronic head.
That's cool.
He was a stuntman, and he just really went all in on trying to embody this sort of character and what they would move and act like.
I do appreciate all the in-camera effects that they did as much as they could, with the animatronics and stuff.
The mechanisms on the suit, it had wings that could fully unfold to 13 feet in width. They had artificial feathers connected to a mechanical device that was underneath his cloak. He also wore taloned feet stilts to add 1.5 feet to his height. And he had articulated talon gloves that he could move.
So that's really cool, but we barely see it.
I know.
How cool would that have been if it was more... Okay, whatever.
And then his face was a radio-controlled animatronic that sat above his head. There was a little hole in the neck he could see through.
Yeah.
They said fully assembled and in the costume, he was about 8 feet tall.
That's cool.
Goldstein said when the whole cast arrived in Northern Ireland, which was where much of this was shot, before any production began, they sat down and played a several hours long game of D&D that was ran for them, and the actors each played their character from the film. And that they just wanted to make sure that if you had never played it before in your life, if you're going to work on this film, you've now experienced it and you now know what it is.
I respect that.
And they said also that in playing the game, that did also inform some of their stuff on the movie, and they changed a few things after playing it, just in light of how the real experience was. It's pretty cool. What else do I have? There's a statue outside of the arena in Neverwinter that clearly shows Lord Nasher Alagondar. That is the Lord of Neverwinter at the time of Neverwinter Nights 2, the video game. That's a fun callback.
Okay.
Simon's little Speak with Dead thing is an actual magic item. It's called a cleric's token. It's a coin that has a symbol of the god Kellum Vor, god of the dead. Now, it's the good god of the dead, because I think they also have the evil one that's Mirkul, the Lord of Bones. And you can learn all about that in the many novels that Ed Greenwood has written. I think that one's from Waterdeep, which is part of one of his trilogies. He's written a ton of stuff in this whole world. Let's see. There's really good attention to detail to the lore. I think it's when they're preparing to go into the Underdark, or maybe it's when they're heading to speak with the dead. There's a part where they're camping at night, and they give you a shot of the night sky. And you see a moon, and there's this trail of stones that are kind of coming away from it, an asteroid chain or something. That's a real feature in Forgotten Realms. It's called the Tears of Selûne, or Selûne, depending on how you want to say that name.
Yeah.
And that's the goddess of the moon in Forgotten Realms. but that's an actual cluster of asteroids that spin around the planet and follow the moon by a trail. So that's cool. You already mentioned the tabaxi, which I wanted to touch on. It's really cool. The baby was an animatronic. Again, it looked really great. We talked about the owlbear thing. That's cool.
They were tempted to use like a real cat for the kitten.
Well, they got to be humanoid, so I don't know. We talked about the Dritz stuff. That was a big deal. Oh, Rage Machine guitarist Tom Morello has a cameo in the film.
Oh, yeah, he's a big D&D fan.
He is a person in the audience during the arena sequence.
Nice.
This had some tie-in media around it. If you are really jazzed about it and want more, because we're probably not going to get more. It had a prequel publishing campaign. They released a few different things. They had a young adult novel called The Druid's Call by E.K. Johnston, which was about Doric. And then they had an adult novel by J. Lee Johnson about Edgin's life before in the Harpers.
An adult novel, eh?
Well, it's like not for kids written, like,
right.
And it's called The Road to Neverwinter.
I didn't think it was slash fic or anything.
They also put out a graphic novel, a comic, called
graphic novel, you say?
The Feast of the Moon, which is about Edgin and his thieves doing a job, and it has a backup story about one of the adventures of Zinc, I guess when he's going to hide the helmet.
Okay.
And then later publishing things have also keyed in on this. In 2023, D&D published an adventure anthology called Keys from the Golden Vault. And that was a series of adventures where each one was about a heist you could run for your party. And one of the heists is actually breaking into Revel's End and breaking a person out of the prison. So they have actually kind of incorporated that and made it a core part of the world now, which is cool. And then it was also mentioned and referenced in one of their big campaigns they had in 2020, Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. And then, like I had mentioned earlier, they also made a free, downloadable thing where they did a character sheet for all of the main party, and you could see, what things they picked and how to build them if you wanted in D&D, which is fun and cool.
Yeah.
This was planned as a one and done. They were always open to the idea of having sequels. Since its poor performance, the suits have said that a sequel is very unlikely. If one ever did happen, it would have to be done on a lesser budget, or maybe split up into a TV show or something else. There were very brief talks of doing a TV show tie-in. That's died off as well. And I actually saw this week, before you and I came to record, the directors were somewhere doing an interview, and they actually said they did pay us to write a sequel. We made the script. We gave it to them. They took it. That's in a vault now.
Yeah.
That's probably where it's going to end. We would love to come back and do it, but that's it.
I don't see them getting the same cast together or anything like that. Not without it being too expensive.
And the more that time stretches on, it just becomes more unlikely.
Right. It's an issue.
And there are new initiatives now. They have Joe Manganiello trying to make a D&D TV show. And
there's a couple of different D&D TV shows supposedly in the works or trying to be.
And that's it's sad, but that's how it is. They just got to go back and start from zero and find which one will spark and actually have a momentum that they can keep doing stuff.
Right.
Do you have any other background stuff? Because all I have left is thoughts.
No, I don't. I think you hit everything.
Okay, cool.
What's your thoughts?
Okay, I guess I can go first.
I can go first if you want me to. I guess it's your movie. I should go first.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
Right.
Go ahead.
We'll stick to tradition here. Well, I think everyone pretty much knows how I feel because I kept talking about the entire time.
If you're confused at this point about how Jason feels, I
you're not paying attention. I tried to praise what I liked.
Sure.
I condemned what I didn't. To me, it doesn't really come together as a satisfying whole. Mm-hmm. And I understand just because I didn't get the movie I wanted, I tried to judge the movie I got as fairly as possible. Mm-hmm. And I think I endeavored to do that.
Sure.
I think at best it's fair. It's just that Marvel-esque, everything's a joke. Everything constantly has to be undercut with a quip or a joke or something. It gets tiresome. It's such a tiresome formula. I want a little bit of sincerity. I want a little bit of earned weight. A little bit of just more. I want to feel more like a fantasy. I guess another thing is, sure, I could see people interpreting this movie as this is modern D&D, people getting together to play. This is what would happen if it were made into a movie.
I wholeheartely believe that.
And that's one approach to a movie, sure. But also, I can't help, because I'm a grognard. I can't help but like a lot. Okay, here's another example. So a lot of modern players, younger players, always use D&D as an analog to a video game.
Sure.
They think D&D is like a tabletop version of a video game.
Sure, because that's what they've known first.
Right. And I grew up way before video games were like that. It wasn't like a video game. It was like a fantasy novel.
Right.
It was like myths and legends. You know, it was like maybe a fantasy movie like Excalibur or Conan or something like that. Mm-hmm. So that's my touchstone, you know? Mm-hmm. And there's so much cool D&D lore and emphasis. I mean, look at Appendix N, which is the list of all the inspirations for D&D that came out in the original editions.
I'll link that in the show notes, too, in case anyone's curious.
There you go. Perfect. I want to see more of all that cool lore and stuff that has been built up over the years in D&D and make something that's a bit more serious. You know, a bit more weight. I'm not saying it can't be fun. I'm not saying you can't have jokes. I just would like a bit more of a healthier balance.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm giving it, I'll give it 2.5. I'll talk myself into a 0.5 by praising the things I like. I was going to give it a 2.
Wow. It's more than I thought you'd give it.
I am nothing else if not fair. So, you know, that's how I feel.
Cool.
And, I mean, it didn't make a whole lot of money. So, also, the budget was too high. I don't know why they had such a high budget for this. They should have cut back on some of the special effects or something. Maybe the casts, you know, Chris Pine ain't cheap, you know.
It was a pretty star-studded cast.
So I don't know how much the cast helped draw people in, but I don't know. Obviously, it didn't resonate with enough people.
Right. And again, there are some extenuating circumstances that are kind of circling around that. But,
sure.
Because, you know, they had a lot of bad will at the time, unfortunately.
Right. But you are much more favorable.
I am.
What's your opinion on it?
It's hard to rate this because when I came to it, I had low expectations. At that time, I was kind of sick of D&D, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I wanted the film to succeed because, like, it is this thing that's been a huge part of my life.
Sure.
And it seemed cool, and I wanted it to be cool, and I wanted people to see what I see is cool about D&D on the big screen. So it's one of those things, like, even if I didn't like it, it's like I want it to be successful. And when you talk about the RPG as a hobby, apart from, like, our film obsession stuff, like, D&D is always the 5,000-pound elephant in the room. Mm-hmm. If it does good, everything else does good, in a way, almost. And it's hard now because, like, when it was just TSR and there were some chuckle fucks trying to do a thing, it's whatever. It's like this film almost. But, you know, now it's Wizards of the Coast and it's Hasbro and there's a big evil corporation behind it and all they see is dollar signs.
Sure.
And they have their, you know, CEO meetings and then they say, why doesn't D&D make as much as Magic the Gathering, a collectible card game that people get addicted to and ruin their lives over?
How can we make more money on microtransactions?
Yeah, and how can we turn this into just an inhuman money factory like everything else that we own? And then it's even more complex to say I want to make one D&D movie and that's what we have and this is it. Because D&D can be so many things. I could run a game and it can be grim and dark and super serious and could have the political intrigue of like a Game of Thrones. And then you can run a game and it could be ripped from the pages of Robert E. Howard. And it could be this vicious sword and sorcery thing where we're barbarians and cutthroats and we're just running down the hall, swinging a sword, fighting stuff and getting coins and getting drunk and
hell yeah,
grabbing the ladies and just having a good old time.
We need Deathstalker.
Yeah, we could be Deathstalker. So what D&D can be like anything. It can be so many things. It can be even to different people. And so to make one movie that is somehow all of that and appeases everybody is impossible. It can't be. And so because of that, I do think that they cut the best path they could with this film to say, okay, we need Guardians of the Galaxy. That like appeals broadly to so many people.
Yeah.
And so many D&D games end up that way. Either before, because that's just how it happened.
For good or real.
Because even we want to be serious, we can't help cracking jokes with our friends. Because we've seen that movie, and now people go, I just want to do that as my game. And that's fine too if that's what you want.
If that's what you want.
Like I said, Forgotten Realms, it is the most popular these days. It made sense to set it there. Sure. I thought they were very respectful of the setting and portrayed it well.
It was nice to get an actual D&D setting and not just some generic fantasy world.
Like the original film.
Yeah.
Oh, man. There's so much love in there, though. They portrayed everything well. I like seeing all the cities, even the ones we only got glimpses of. The cameos, Elminster, the big chubby dragon, the Red Wizards. Red Wizards are great villains. I love to portray them in games.
Yeah.
They're some of my favorite to roleplay and just be super fucking evil and maniacal. And then the plot, I know why you don't like the plot. I get it.
Yeah.
But me, man, I fucking love an underdog story. Just give me a few chuckle fucks that are they can't get out of their own way and they screw up at everything. But they're trying to do a thing, and despite themselves, they just really want to make it happen and do the right thing. I automatically love what you're doing. That wins me over so fast because I identify so hard with that.
Right.
And I do identify with these characters. I see myself in them. I see my friends in them. I just can't help but love Ed's story and the guilt and regret that he has and how he tries to turn this all around. Simon's confidence issues and his lack of belief in himself. Doric's sense of that she doesn't have a place to belong to. Holga's kind of sense of I'm just this person that exists to fight and that's all I do and I don't matter for anything else.
Yeah.
All of those just speak to me so much. And then even Zink as a great foil to the rest of them where he is an established hero. He is this great thing. He's come from this terrible scene and become this now hero that's changing the world. I love it all. I love all those characters and I love that they're all here and doing this thing and that the way the story kind of closes and bookends and comes full circle. To me, it just really, truly captures the tone of what you would say is the quote-unquote average D&D game. There's some serious stuff going on. You've got a story. Every character has a little bit going on. They get up to a bunch of antics and crack a bunch of jokes. And then at the end of the day, they come together. They save the world. They do some good. And then they go off. And for that reason, I think it's hard not to be a fan of the game and kind of get a little fuzzy feeling watching this movie. And for that reason, I love it. And I gave it 4 stars.
Okay. You're a very generous 3-star giving, my friend. Very generous.
I had some fun, general D&D questions to ask you, but man, I think we have ran super long.
Yeah, we're almost 2:15.
I think maybe we'll file those away for a bonus episode or something.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
But I did want to know, though, have you seen... This is the one I'll keep in just because it's film-related. Have you seen the other 3 films? I know you've seen the first one at least.
I saw the second one.
Okay, so what do you think about those, just briefly?
Honestly, I thought the second one was better than the first.
The second
D&D
one is
movie.
a more true D&D story than the first one.
Right. And also, I watched the behind the scenes on the DVD, and it's just a funny scene where they talk about how they're trying to be true to the game. A lot of the stuff they got from the new one. And it shows the actors in costume sitting around reading from the PH, looking like, yes,
Oh, man, was it 3.0 at that time? Or
3.5, yeah.
Okay, 3.5.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Uh-huh. That was fun. Well, what about you? What did you think?
I've seen them all. The first one is a turd.
Oh, it's horrible.
The second one is pretty decent. You can feel its budget. And then the third one is fucking insane. And I love it for being insane. The third one, apparently. I've got a German Blu-ray import, which is the only way to get at it.
Nice.
I can bring it over sometime. It would be a good beers and buds kind of thing.
We should totally do that. I'm down for that.
It's insane. I love it. And if you can get at it, you should watch it, especially if you're a D&D fan.
Nice.
Now, I am role-played out as far as crossing it over with film.
Yeah.
What are we doing next?
Okay. We've done a couple of game-related type movies.
Sure.
More or less.
You have command, sir.
All right. We're gonna... I feel like a little comfort food,
Sure.
I'm going to go back to the 80s.
Always.
80s was a great place to be.
You know it.
1988 specifically.
Okay.
And I don't think you've seen this. Maybe you have. I don't know. Tell me if you have. But it is a movie starring Sidney Poitier, Tom Berenger, and Kirstie Alley, as well as some other really cool supporting cast members.
Okay.
Called Shoot to Kill.
Have
you heard of it? Have you seen it?
Not ringing a bell.
It is directed by Roger Spottiswoode, who did other film. He wrote 48 Hours. He directed Tomorrow Never Dies.
Okay. I'm okay with that one.
Actually might be one of the better of the Brosnan films.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, because Michelle Yeoh is fucking awesome in it.
She's amazing in that one.
Yeah.
Oh, he did Terror Train and The Sixth Day, which is a pretty bad Schwarzenegger film.
Yes.
But a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, anyway, what is it about? It is about... I will read you. An FBI agent teams up with a tracker to pursue a murderer after he vanishes into the mountains and infiltrates a hiking group.
That's an interesting premise.
Yeah, yeah. This is just one of those like sleeper movies from the 80s that is kind of ignored these days.
Okay.
So, yeah. See what you think about it. And it's streaming on Prime, I believe.
Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, look for that. A little palate cleanser from our fantasy world, and good to be back. I gotta say it's good to be back.
Indeed.
Thanks for tuning in. Send us your movie recommendations, what you've been watching, what you've been thinking about. If you have strong thoughts about Honor Among Thieves, we want to know. Tell us what you think.
Please.
Where did they get right? Where did they go wrong? What should the next D&D movie look like? I wonder.
Should there be a next D&D?
Should there be one?
Do we need a Morkborg movie?
Oh, man. Morkborg. That's almost the Deathbringer remake.
Yeah. Or maybe the werewolf movie coming out.
Ooh, it could be too. Ooh, it's looking good too.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
That's going to be exciting. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. And then the new Spider-Man's blowing the fuck up. I hear it's great even for people with superhero fatigue. So
I might check it out when it's streaming.
Yeah. But yeah, you can hit us up on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, emails at genreexposure@gmail.com. We will take your movie recs to cover for the show. We will just pepper them in when we have them. The list is slight right now, so we're kind of stretching them out, seeing how far we can make that go. Enjoy life, enjoy movies, watch something cool, have a good time. I know everything's shitty right now with like AI and politics and everything else, but like, got to chill sometimes too, you know,
just
man.
Try to be excellent to each other, you know.
Be excellent to yourself and to others, and take care of yourself. Definitely take care of yourself.
Yeah.
All that being said, you have been listening to Genre Exposure.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.